Good evening, welcome. Oh no, change! Oh no, I moved things around. Sorry, I'm springing change on everyone, making everyone uncomfortable. Good evening, welcome back. Just a heads up now, I'm trying a different few stream settings here, which includes running at 1440p. So we're streaming at a higher quality tonight, which hopefully should help me a little bit with quality and use the higher encoder. So that means I've shifted things around for the first time since I started streaming, and I will actually be up in that corner now, or it's back there, just looking down at the screen instead of me looking away from it. So, anyway, it's a bit of change tonight, so if everything breaks or, the layout is weird, or the quality is off, or the windows are wrong size, that's all because I'm messing with it, so I just decided, like, last night to make those changes. So here we are. But evening, welcome everyone. We got a lot of people here. Revenant here showed up first. Mike Boy, Solar, Bruce, Pillowkin, the Lone Wolf, Bluebeard, and evening, welcome everyone. And sorry, I keep forgetting your name. I think you said Waylon, maybe? I feel bad for not remember exactly, but and we have yeah, it's doing a sound card thing. So I know a lot of people talking about sound cards in chat, which is awesome. There's a lot of different sound cards we have throughout the era. And of course, I kind of like doing a stream based on the video that I just did, right? And I figured, like, well, I should stream on this machine. Now, we'll say that as well. I noticed that the hard drive on this computer started grinding a little bit. So I actually made a backup copy of the drive. I cloned it to a different drive. So if this machine just decided to die tonight, that would be why. The hard drive basically did like a kind of sound. I'm like, that's not good. It is the original spinning disk, the original 420 megabyte hard drive in this HP Vectra that has been unchanged for, well, since it was new. So, and yes, I did back it up. I cloned it to another 1 gigabyte hard drive, and I have an actual image backup now on my computer, so I can restore it if I need to. And I think that's just a matter of time, right? Any one of us that mess with these old retro computers know that sooner or later those hard drives are going to fail. They're spinning mechanical disks, so it's just... I was going to say, I was waiting for that. I was waiting for it. Points awarded for the first joke around it. So yeah, I cloned it to a different hard drive. Funny part is that I use Macronium Reflect, which is a great software. However, I do think I have to pay for it at this point because it's not free anymore as a trial version, but it's a great cloning software. You can't expand a FAT16 drive, unfortunately. So anyway, I went to reformat and reinstall to... The other drive is a gig, so it has a lot more space. But anyway, sound cards. I looked around, and so for those that didn't watch the video, it was about this card, which is the IBM Easy Options Game and Audio card. And this is not an IBM sound card. Let's just get that out of the way right away, right? For those that haven't watched the video, this is actually a Media Vision Thunderboard that IBM resold as part of their Easy Options line of accessories and cards and peripherals. And the idea being is that, at the store, when you're buying parts for your IBM or needed something, you had an IBM sound card. That sounds more appealing than some random, which one should I buy, right? And I think it worked. Ron from Ron's Computer Videos actually mentioned he used to work in a retail store back in the day, and they sold boatload of these to schools and things like that because they had IBMs and they needed an IBM upgrade option, and there you go, sound card. And this is a pretty compatible sound card. So the Media Vision... yeah, at 440p. Wait till you do the DOS video, and it's actually really sharp. I enjoy that quite a lot because I'm scaling it to DOS resolution is 1600 by 1200, and I've scaled that a little more to fit the window in here that you'll see here in a second. Like if I do this, you get sharp. Yeah. Yes, I do. I have lots of cat hair and dog hair everywhere, and that's going to show up in 1440p now. For those not aware, YouTube basically, re-encodes your video, right? And the video is encoded with a certain encoder or a certain, a certain format at a lower resolution, 1080p and lower. So if you go 1440p, you get that higher encoder, which is why you can get a much sharper picture and it actually retains, especially like DOS resolution, stuff like that, much sharper. So, evening, Sukar, welcome. But yes, there's definitely hair everywhere. So anyway, IBM then decided to use, they partnered with MediaVision and then resold this and called it the Game and Audio Card Sound Blaster Compatible. game and audio card. So you can actually see that now, huh? Yeah, that is the A10 Tank Killer is down there. That's A10 Tank Killer in the kind of Sierra style size box. So funny, now running 1440p, you can see more details than you could before. So I should maybe hide or clean up back here. Hans Gruber is still hanging here, except backwards. He's right there. He's flipped around though. Since the Christmas stream with Die Hard. So I had to look up a little bit of stuff about the Thunderboard, because it is a pretty interesting. Yeah, I caught a few of them. A few of them right here. A couple of Janes there. It is an interesting board because there was a few games that support it, and I did install a couple tonight. But I did put this in the video. But here is an actual full-page ad about the MediaVision Thunderboard. And Thunderboard PC games like you've never heard them before, which includes jet fighters flying through your head, apparently. And I think it's one of those that, like, because I found in the same magazine, and this is Computer Gaming World from '92. And yeah, November 1992, Computer Gaming World. And they have another ad in here. I noticed that there's actually Sound Galaxy as well, which I believe was another one of those, like, not, I wouldn't say knockoff, but, you know, clones, right? And they were trying to establish their own standard. And there were games that supported the Sound Galaxy, I believe, directly. And then, of course, in that same magazine, this is a great magazine, actually. Maybe we should do a read-through of it. It's a full-page ad for Sound Blaster in general, which is blow it out your ear for only $149. So, yeah. And it just, I love 90s ads because they're so ridiculous. They're so ridiculous. And there's more in here that are just like, I mean, the first page here is Aliens Ate My Babysitter. Like, here's the actual ad for it. Yeah. But yeah, I love this old magazine. They're a hoot to flip through because the 90s stuff is just so fantastic. They're so ridiculous. But yeah, it's there were so many different sound cards around this era, right? Before Sound Blaster kind of became the de facto standard. Now, these are Thunder. These are what's called what was it? Tropic Thunder? Why am I forgetting his name? My goodness. Hulk Hogan show, right? There's a 3DO game or CDI game for that, I think. Eating Pixel. But yeah, the fact that this is not labeled as a Thunder card, but it's of course, you had to be Sound Blaster and Adler compatible to have a chance for any kind of generic card around this time, right? You pretty much had to be compatible, and that's what I found with this one so far. It is very compatible. Every game that I tested on it seems to directly detect or support Sound Blaster, and the software installation was a simple thing. Now, was it easier or harder than any other card from that era? I'm not sure, but it was as simple as just, you know, popping the card in, running this setup floppy to install the drivers, and that was it. It just worked. And it's set at 220, RQ7, and DMA1. It's an 8-bit ISO sound card, right? So we don't have 16-bit sound, but this is an earlier 90s sound card for sure. Uni Doppler. Yeah, and that's the thing too, when you look at stuff like that, but I did throw up here this is the actual sound card in question, so if you didn't watch the video, go watch the video. Pressure. You can see it looks like your typical sound card from that era, right? But the big chip in the top left, or the bottom left corner of it, is a Yamaha authentic OPL chip. And that lends that you get basically really good, you know, compatibility and sound and what you kind of expect from DOS games of this era. Not saying this is not a good Windows card too. It works fine in Windows 3.11. I have not tried it in Windows 95, but so far so good as far as like the support on it. I didn't see anything. I mean, not that I've tested or anything. I don't have any way to test the conductiveness on the electrolytic anymore, but it looks fine. I haven't seen any bulging on that one. And the card has performed perfectly fine in my testing so far. Now, it was new stock. Here's a secret for everyone now that you can hear it first. I recorded the section where I unboxed this card months ago. And I didn't get until making this video until now. So, I unboxed this a long time ago, and the box has been sitting here, and I finished the video now, but yeah. Yeah, I thought about getting the Thundercats in the thumbnail, but I realized it was getting a little too busy, so I went with um, the standard, like, just a lightning bolt, so. Oskjud kort. No. Even Christian, welcome. And for the fellow Swedes here, I think we have a couple. And some of the games were translated in Swedish back in the day. I think Eye of the Beholder was like called Ögat the Beholder or something like that. It's just horrendously directly translated to the point where it sounds ridiculous. Anyway. So yeah, this is a very classic design, and as we'll see here, this particular sound card has that volume knob. Um, there is no setting inside of software to control the volume or mixer. Like, I'm really spoiled now with the Soundmaster 16 mixer set, being able to fine-tune audio volumes based on, MIDI and regular sound and master volume. It's real nice. This wheel is just straight up and down. Here's another thing I also forgot to mention in the video, and maybe that will change everyone's opinion of this card. This is a powered line out on this card. So I'm not going to know exactly what that means, but I'm pretty sure that means that it's passing extra juice in the out port, the line out, because they're expecting that you would plug in potentially unpowered speakers. Budget unpowered speakers, right? And if you capture this card directly, it just clips. Consistently. You can't lower the volume long enough. So you have to basically go through a speaker. Yep, exactly. So I actually am having to go out to a speaker and use the headphone jack out on those speakers to capture this to make it reduced. There's probably a better way to do it, but that's what I had to do to make it like basically just not clip like crazy. Yeah. No, exactly. And it's, they're trying to be their own standard here, and they're trying to make it like a named brand card, but it is still a budget card for that purpose, right? It may be competing with that, but it definitely comes across as more of a budget card later on. So that said, it sounds fine. I mean, we have... so there are a couple of jumpers. Jumpers, I believe, enable and disable... that jumper that's sitting right there, I'm not entirely sure what that one is for. I'm not sure if there is a... I didn't look at the jumper directly, because there are... Yeah, here we go. Jumpers. These are RQs, enabling ports, changing a jumper. I'm not sure if that jumper is called out. There's an interestingly lack of information on this card, because it wasn't used very much. It sounds like it. It wasn't a sales success, best what I can find. So, yeah, we can basically disable the settings on the card through the switches on it. I believe ENGS. I think... No, never mind. That's not it. Yeah. I'm not entirely sure what that is for. Yeah. But it has a lovely picture on how to switch a jumper. Like, yeah. So, yeah, the problem was that then, of course, capturing this card makes it a bit of a... Because in the beginning, I'm like, what is going on? Why is it just clipping like crazy? And that was why. It needs something in between. Apologies. I think you mentioned that before, too, your name, so feel free to repeat it here. Speaker or headphones. Yeah, they don't show anything about a powered speaker or anything. But it is MIDI capable, I believe, as well. Not that I've used it, so. But anyway, let's try out some games on this thing, or at least check out some of the software, because there isn't a whole heck of a lot of software that came with it. It basically just dumps some, I mean, if you go to AutoExec BAT, all it does is just... Now, I rammed this out here because I don't want the Soundmaster Vibra to interfere here, of course. But it just set Blaster. And that's it. It sets Blaster, and that's it. And then it installs the software in here, and there's really not much except just the driver itself. There is a test you can run. I think that's the TV test. And I think I mentioned this in the video here now. All this does is just letting you play a tone. We'll see how loud this tone is now. Do not adjust your television set. And that lets you just... No, that's loud. How's that thunder? localized. The sound card works. By golly. That was no warning. Your Thunder card works, or Thunderboard works. Yeah. There's the Thunder. Thunder. Yeah, so that's the thing with... I think there's a lot of different Vibra cards, and someone correct me if I'm wrong there, but as far as I know, there were quite a different set of Vibra cards with different variety. And this particular model is a full-featured one, so it has OPL and everything, but yeah. So yeah, that of course worked just dandy. You can then basically adjust the volume wheel on the back of the card to find your right volume so that you don't have anything else you can test with that. There isn't much else software. There is, I think, T-Master, which is just a... let's see if I can do this here now. There we go. I got to switch around resolution. But what I'm hoping now is that capturing at 1440p and streaming with that is that we get an even sharper DOS image here now. Sharp as possible, so I have to do a little finagling. I just started messing with this resolution yesterday, so apologies if we get stuck on anything. But you can record here. I don't have a microphone plugged in, but you can, of course. Let me make sure the volume is not too loud again here. You can play the sound here. And you can hear the crackling and stuff like that, and it's just... it's a compressed audio type, right? So I'm sure there's better ways to do this with this card, but it's easy to get stuck like with the best card of the era or the cool cards or whatever, but at the same time, I cut my teeth on having, you know, a Vibra equivalent or some Crystal ESS, you know, clone. Like, I think many of us did that. And, you know, yeah, we can often have access to neater or cooler hardware now. But back then, I mean, it was just whatever came in my first, you know, all-in-one machine. So, and that is that software. That's all it does. And best to my knowledge, I don't think there's any other software included here. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Yeah, I'll say I am past 40 as well. It's that time. It's that time when you stand up too fast and something snaps and you're like, what was that? I don't know, but hopefully I didn't need it. That's really it that came with it. So there really isn't much else you can do. Now, I did install quite a few games here that are DOS-related games. Some of you have requested them, but we'll probably start with Tyrion because it is such a classic DOS game and one that, one that is great for testing sound because the music in this game is amazing. So we'll start with Tyrion and play that a little bit. And let's see, we're in the right. There we go. But switching between text mode and the like video mode here that used in the games causes my capture card to like not automatically switch, so I'm having to switch back and forth. But we all have FM sound, and you can also see here it actually calls out the Thunderboard. The Media Vision Thunderboard is called out in the FM sound. Now, again, it's an Ad Lib and Sound Blaster compatible card, right? So take that for what you will. There isn't much else to call out. It doesn't do anything special. It doesn't do anything. There's no extra instruction set, to my knowledge, for the Thunderboard specifically. It's just Sound Blaster compatible card, and that's what it does. And that's the chip on it that we saw. It's just called a Thunder. They call it Thunder chip or whatever, but it's still just Sound Blaster compatible. So we have FM sound. That's what we're going to run, of course. We don't have any of the other ones. And it works fine. I think we'll have a lot of finagling with the audio in this one, because a lot of these games are going to be very different in their volume. So I apologize when I'm messing with the audio in every game. When I stream one game, I can test it, but we're going to hop between a dozen games tonight, probably. So play Tyrion. See that the resolution's correct. Sound Blaster found. So what I'm hoping now is with this new capture setup is that the capture is even sharper. So for those that aren't familiar or aware, I am capturing this directly from, let me spin the logo here around, from this here. This is a 486 that I used in the video for this card, but it's a bone stock 486 with this Thunderboard installed. And I'm capturing VJ directly into a data path capture card. And able to get pretty sharp video that way, and especially using this higher quality codec that you get by streaming at 1440p, so I'm excited to try that, which is why I've changed my layout too. Just confusing people. I feel I should turn down the sound for and hear the music more, because the music is really fantastic in this game. Which we can do in here, I think so. I have never really played Tyrion much, besides testing it. I know that's sacrilege or heresy to say, because it's like, Halo is one of the best shooters, like, of all time. I should really play it, you know, a lot more. But I just haven't got around to it. And I assume a lot of people have played this one. Let's see, I think I'm already... Chip specs, yeah. Did it carry my upgrades with me when I played? No. So I have 10,000 here. Built the multi-cannon. A little more firepower. And this is one of those games where, like, not too dissimilar from Jets and Guns there we played the other week, that lets you buy stuff in between. And that's going to be very, very helpful. We'll do that, why not? Lords of Thunder is amazing. I actually sat down and beat it on the Mister. It's not a very long game, but we did stream it when I tested Sega CD on the Mister a while back. The intro is just something... I mean, it is just amazing. It is just so ridiculous. Just so over the top, so... But there we go. We'll play. We just had the pulse cannon. So just this upgraded. I'm gonna do the multi cannon. I just wanna flank. Yeah, we'll just play a little bit now. It does feel harder. Yeah, the music is just fantastic. Good evening, Sean. Welcome.
Good luck.
Keep an eye on the audio volume here. I feel like it's still a little, Yeah, so it's going to be a lot of tweaking audio, I think. Because it is just like hopping around between all these. Yeah, the 4666 has got to be the most quintessential, like, 46 to me. It feels like that was like the time when PCs really started taking off. Because, like, yeah, before that and everything, there were a ton of games and stuff like that. But then when you get to this era, you start getting CD-ROMs kind of standard or option upgrades. You get multimedia come in, and the game started just getting more and more complex, and the PC really took off as a gaming platform. Data acquired. And it's Tyrion. A game I haven't played much at all, really, but a very, very classic side-scrolling, or top-down, obviously, not side-scrolling, top-down shooter with a whole bunch of levels, and it's very popular, I think, as far as, like, on, you know, top lists for DOS games and everything, so. And plays, you know, again, like most of your top-down space shooters, but uses the kind of DOS look, if you will, to great effect, so. Yeah, my wife is a big fan of Superstar Soldier on the TurboGrafx 16 or PC Engine, as it were. Oh, don't have much shield now. See how far we get on this here. It's one of those, like, you memorize where everything is, and eventually you can kind of just figure it out or as you play, but right now I'm a noob at this, even on easy difficulty. But as we can hear, too, the Yeah. Superstar Soldier is fantastic. That's, but also the Soldier Blade is probably my favorite in that series, which is like almost the last one. Also on TurboGrafx 16, that is great. But as we can hear now, sorry, this game sounds just fine. I mean, this is fully compatible, and also like we saw, spikes ahead. This sound card is called out in here, not just from Sound Blaster compatibility, but actually MediaVision Thunderboard shown. Gotta avoid the spikes. Enemy ahead. I don't have much health left here now. I can take like one hit. Oh, I got some shield. Nice. Oh. Boss guy. Large enemy approaching. Not gonna ram into me, bro. I kind of feel like you're gonna ram into me. Yep. Ah, the old classic. If I touch you, you die, but you can't touch me. Oh, hello. That looked fancy, but it didn't do much damage. Not hitting me. Whoa, whoa, hi. Turn into bullet hell shooter now. Woo! Oh! In, Brian? Woo! Yeah, it's, considering when this game, you know, like what it is a phenomenal shooter, and I should have played more just on, you know, casual separately, because it has everything I love in a shooter shop, you know, lots of weapon variety, awesome music, and to be fair, in a top-down or any scrolling shooter, you need great music. It kind of comes with the type of game, you know. Thanks. I'm a little surprised I did not die on that one. Now I think we got some more cash, so you can upgrade your ship. Perhaps a shield. Let's see, we have generator. Just how fast you can shoot, I think. Left sidekick, that's probably good. Single shot option. Companionship Warfly. Oh, it's just a little extra shot there, okay. Can we upgrade our gun anymore? Yeah, there's so many good games like this that are just... Oh, it's maxed, actually. Missile launcher. Proton. Looks like you can experiment with the guns, too, without any, That's awesome. We'll stick with the multi-can, I think, but it looks like it's maxed out. Can we do our rear gun any stronger? There we go. A little forward firepower, too. You got filtered? Well, stop saying bad things to your car. You can't talk about scan lines like that. There are children present. Yeah, I do love shmups a lot, so it's become a favorite genre of mine, mostly because, again, good music. It's usually not something I sit and play for a ton, so... yeah, that's right. You can switch the firing mode to go forward or to the side more, I think, right? So, see, the shield... Let's armor it in. I think that's pretty much it. We'll upgrade the shield. And then... Okay, let's play another level. Asteroid 1, Asteroid 2. We'll do Asteroid 1, why not?
Good luck.
Whoa! It's a lot of asteroids. Could you not fly around this? What are the odds of navigating an asteroid belt? It's, sound effects are definitely a lot louder than the music. It feels like that way to me, but... Yeah, I think it was... There we go. It was right shift. Thanks for that tip. I forgot about it in the panic of, like, getting freaking bombarded with asteroids. But it's cool that they do that. It's surprisingly advanced.
Data acquired.
Data acquired. Surprisingly advanced for the era. I don't remember when this game came out, but considering this is DOS, that's it's pretty impressive. That they do a lot with the resolution they have. Boy, this is a forward fire heavy mission here. Woo.
Data acquired.
Data acquired. Whoops. Oh, I just got smacked there pretty bad. I think I can take one more hit and I'm done for. A little extra armor there. There are some pickups in the stages, so that's nice. Secret level. Alright. I just need to make it out alive. Boy, the difficulty spiked here. This is on easy, too. Yeah, that's right. There's a Tyrion 2000. Is that just a remake? Like a re-enhanced? It is a little bit, and that's the thing, too. I enjoy... Jeez Louise. I enjoy the games that have, like, a calibrated difficulty. I'm not a big fan of the bullet hells, like, you know, your Ikaruga and, like, the ones that are just, like, you gotta dodge so much fire. I don't tend to like those. This is certainly getting up there. Woo! Whew, that was a lot. Alright, we'll do the secret level. We'll switch to a different game, too. I did pack in quite a few games tonight, so I'm not going to linger too long on each game unless people are enjoying it. And I did survive there, I guess, so that's cool. Can I upgrade this anymore? No, it's max. Oh, 7,500, I see. Can I take something away to make that happen? No. Mini missile. Let's do that. Right side kick. Mini missile. Oh yeah, we're gonna... Striker? I'm not sure. I'm familiar with the Striker one. I know that I was thinking Strider, but I'm not sure what Striker is, honestly. Yeah. I think I'll throw a better generator, I guess. I'm not sure if that helps my armor or what, but... Play next level. Unknown. Secret.
Good luck.
There, now we got some serious, like, forward firepower here. Do I have to push another button to fire my missiles? I do. Now we're talking. Did the thing just spew a data cube? Okay. That just fires the missiles. I'm holding the right button, fires the missiles. Jeez Louise. Yeah, this is fast. Real fast. That you can blow up a ton of stuff. That's important in these games, that you have, like, you know, there's a lot of things to blow up. It sounds silly, but if you can't... A lot of cool things you can, well, blow up. It doesn't make it fun. There's less impact in your guns, but this is ridiculous. I have no idea what's going on. Yeah, I shouldn't have gone to the secret level.
Level completed.
Holy buckets. That was easy. My goodness. Yeah, I should play this more for sure. Get better at it. So it's basically just mouse. All I did in that shooting section there was just hold the mouse, or move the mouse around. Left is primary fire. and then right button shot the missiles, fires the missiles, and that was it. That was a little crazy. Can you save? Yeah. Boom. But yeah, it's a really cool game, so... yeah, it looks really good on a CRT. I will definitely say that. It's a game that kind of lives on that. But it's pretty cool that it's one of the very few games that explicitly supports the MediaVision Thunderboard, as we saw in the setup there. And that's pretty rare. There's only a handful of games, if even that, just a few, honestly. We do have a lot of other ones. And trying to think now, we got a few other ones here on, but I feel like I want to play something that's, we'll watch the Dune 2 intro. I think it's, actually, I don't have memory. I gotta, okay, I have enough memory. And now it's loud. I gotta switch the resolution all the time here, but this kind of showcases, I think, that Westwood are just, they were like in their prime making these awesome intros. How, you know, they had such production quality to me compared to a lot of other game developers at the time, so.
The planet Arrakis, known as Dune.
Known as Dune. Yeah, the early LCDs were hilarious almost because my dad had a business, so they bought a flat panel pretty early on because I encouraged my dad, because he had a big CRT, and then he got a flat panel. And the first, I mean, it was like one of those like 15-inch passive matrix. It was awful. The blurring was just like hilarious. But I loved it for what it was. When the first time I had a little mini LAN party, and I carried my light little 15-inch LCD, and then I borrowed it from my dad. And we're also lugging their tubes in. That was pretty great. So what I do here for this capture is the data path captures at 1600 by 1200. The window you see in OBS is 1440p. So then I just take the yes, old man. Turn you down a little bit.
There are no set territories and no rules of engagement.
So I upscale the 1600 by 1200 image, which by the way, if you take a DOS window and you upscale to 600 by 1200, you get a perfect integer scaling sized window. So that gives you a good starting point, and then you can go basically scale that from there with area scaling. So that's what I do to get to 1440p. And that gives me the higher codec in YouTube and hopefully much sharper. Alright, everyone wait for Pixel. We're just going to sit here.
And the evil
Some of those early panels were pretty bad, you know. We got a lot better panels now, of course. Really good panels, really. There was a while there where the neatness of having a flat panel did not outweigh usually, you know, how horrible.
Your battle for Dune begins.
Yeah, the Ornithopter. I still haven't seen the new one. I really should, because I do love the Dune universe. And I played this one quite a bit back then too, but I really should watch the new one. I heard really good things. So we'll play a little Dune 2, because I think Dune 2 is a good example of the Sound Blaster and ad-lib support. This sounds really good. Play a game. I'll play Ordos. Ordos. I never play them. Won't play that long. But what I'm hoping with this new capture setup is that not only am I looking at what I'm playing, the way I'm aligned on the screen, is that with the higher capture, I can get much sharper capture and better encoding. And honestly, it's a personal thing, because I would rewatch my own stream sometimes, and I would see like little the distortion or like flickering going on in some scenes. I'm like, I want straight, strong, possible sharpness, you know. And this is as good as you can get, I think, without actually streaming at 4K, which, of course, that's a whole other thing, but I will mess with the screen elements and the sizing and everything a little more, but this got me running for the stream, so we dropped, of course, the border, the beige border, but sure, we'll join Ordos. They seem like nice fellas. scanlines on myself. I should have a scanline filter available. You must provide us with credits. Yeah, I mean, especially, I think that everything has a place, right? The modern panels, and especially the OLEDs coming out now, are amazing. But at the same time, there's a place for everything like that. There's something that goes uniquely with it, not only playing on a CRT, of course, which is, you know, part of our enthusiast crowd. PC CRTs, I love them. I love, you know, playing on TV CRTs for retro game stuff like that. It just looks right. And there are really good scalers out there and all that stuff. I'm discounting anyone's setup or anything, but I do enjoy playing on the era-appropriate screen technology. So even playing on a early 2000 flat panel or something like that can be really fun too, and era-appropriate, you know, even if it's washed out or blurry and all that, so. Proceed.
Reporting. Affirmative. Reporting.
The thing that you forget...
Yes, sir.
Construction complete.
That you forget
Moving out.
playing this now is how concrete the thing you gotta do in this game.
Yes, sir.
How much
Moving out.
the quality of life that came with Command & Conquer and Warcraft 2 and stuff, multi-selecting,
Construction complete.
being able to right-click to move a unit.
Yes, sir.
If you haven't played Dune 2, the original, in a long time, you forget that you actually have to select one unit, one only,
Construction
one ping only,
complete.
please. And then
Moving
select
out.
it to move, and then pick the next one
Reporting.
and select it to move. And it is
Acknowledged.
slow as molasses because of that. Now,
Warning, enemy unit approaching from
Enemy.
the west.
Yes, sir. Infantry out.
there we get a little attack
Construction
music.
complete.
Construction complete. Music though, listen to that. Yeah, sounds great, doesn't it? So, here I'm just jamming out to this Thunderboard, which is supposed to, like, you know, a
Infantry
whatever
out.
clone, but
Reporting.
it sounds really good. For what it is. It is appropriate for the era, and it sounds good for ad-lib and sound mastering compatibility.
Acknowledged. Reporting. Affirmative. Yes,
This is,
sir.
of course, the latest version of Dune 2 that had the talkie and everything, so...
Construction complete.
Construction complete. Wind traps. The wind trap supplies power to your base. We need a lot of...
Yes, sir. Moving out. Reporting.
Gotta find our...
Enemy unit destroyed.
Yes, sir.
Construction complete.
and I'm trying to think of any games like this, because
Reporting.
this is one of the earlier ones, I think, to me at least, that had this dynamic combat music. You notice that the music changed as we entered combat. And, you know, that's something we kind of take for granted now, but that was not always a thing back then,
Yes,
so...
sir. Moving out.
I always think this extra mountains looked like poop there.
Reporting. Affirmative.
I'm a very serious adult man.
Yes, sir. Moving out. Reporting. Acknowledged.
I don't like
yes,
you, that's
sir.
a rocket trooper.
Infantry out. Yes, sir. Infantry out. Yes, sir. Infantry reporting. Acknowledged.
It's just the movement of having to select one unit and clicking move and then going around and stuff like that. It is makes it very slow.
Reporting. Acknowledged.
The units move so
Affirmative.
slow here.
Construction complete.
There's our spice.
Affirmative. Yes, sir.
The AI, you can tell they walked all the way down and came back up to do that.
Reporting.
Again,
Enemy unit destroyed.
you take that
Acknowledged.
movement
Reporting.
and the
Acknowledged.
creature comforts, you know, for granted now, playing modern RTSs or modern or, you know, later
Enemy
90s.
unit destroyed.
Enemy unit destroyed.
Yes, sir. Moving out. Yes, sir.
You go up on that big dinosaur turd there.
Moving out. Yes, sir. Moving out.
You go
Reporting.
there.
Construction complete.
Construction complete.
Reporting.
I still love Dune 2, but Dune 2000 feels like today. I know there's modern reinterpretation of it, but Dune 2000 feels like such a great evolution of this, you know, so. And I think,
Construction complete.
yeah, I think that they said the only reason they made Command & Conquer like that pseudo-modern setting was that they were tired of creating sand tiles, which, to be fair, this is very,
Construction complete.
very samey, but that's what caused the Command & Conquer universe to be created. They wanted a more modern-ish setting, so. And, I mean, I understand not being tied to the licensing thing makes sense, too. So. Construction.
Construction complete.
And I saw my friend play this on Amiga, so that's where I saw most of this game, too. And Dune 2 was ported to a lot of things.
Yes, sir.
Construction complete.
I think it's on consoles, too, isn't it? Mega Drive or something? Yeah. Mm-hmm. The Vortex cards are really cool, too. There's a lot of cool sound cards. And this thing is, like, yeah, there are so many, you know, really high-end cards and everything, but I always drive for compatibility or uniqueness is nice, too. But any good, like, decent Sound Blaster clone from this era can give you a lot of enjoyment, and especially when you think about, again, what I experienced. I didn't have a, you know, sound canvas. I didn't have a any gold sound cards or any Gus's or anything. It was just whatever, again, clone ESS thing that Compact used, so.
Construction complete.
Oh, I built too many of those. Whatever. Refinery converts spice into credits. I don't think I can build anything else. Nope.
Reporting.
That is it.
Affirmative.
Affirmative.
Reporting.
Orders harvester deployed. Warning, enemy unit approaching from the south.
Affirmative.
There comes the attack music again.
Infantry out.
Hey, that must have my... Yeah, there's a lot of
Enemy unit destroyed.
cool sound cards that are unique, because,
Moving
like,
out. Reporting.
yeah, Soundmaster Live for 198
Reporting.
build, you know, a Audigy for an XP. Those are really solid choices, no doubt, but there's a lot of cool other ones, too. Like the, yeah, the Aural Vortexes are good. I'm starting to mess with the Yamaha sound cards, and it's just, I enjoy even a card like this then, which is supposedly a budget card, but I mean, this is such a great 8-bit sound. I said that has to do also with the soundtrack, of course, because, I mean, it's how they use it and how it was composed goes a long way. Not saying everything sounded great, but in this case here, Dune 2, I think, is a phenomenal soundtrack for the time. They use what they have to great, great effect. Yeah, and it can make it more unique, so the spies must indeed flow.
Reporting.
Harvester is 58% full, yeah. Buy it in bulk. Okay, so I'm a little curious then. So, Sukar, it sounds like your first sound card was one of those kits that are awesome. My first computer had no sound card, but then when I got my real first computer, that had a whatever compact chip with it. And again, I think that was just some Crystal Soundmaster clone. What people actually got their first sound card by buying a sound card loose versus getting it with a included card? Because, like, I think a lot of us probably started out with a machine that came with a sound card, if you had a Mac that came included usually, but who all bought those upgrade kits or bought a sound card loose? Like, the first thing they got a sound card was that they bought a sound card from a store, either buy an upgrade kit, multimedia kit with speaker and CD-ROM drive, or just a card loose. I'm a little curious, because my experience was just it came with the machine, so okay. So then I'm guessing any things you had before then was probably like included with the machine, right? So music in this is great. I'm hoping the yeah, sharpness comes across better here now too, but so I'm really pleased it's streaming at 1440p in my computer, and my bandwidth seems to be holding up. So
Deployed.
Ordos Harvester deployed. Nice. So you bought the legendary one. Soundmaster AW32. So that was your first sound card you bought then? That's, man. Yeah, those cards are insane.
Reporting.
They're so huge. Okay, it was like one of those budget bundle things. And I mean, I didn't really think too much or know much about it back then, right? I'm sure I didn't. You just, you know, installed the game and ran it, and sound was detected, and on you went. So it's not like I got anything to compare to. But yeah, my wife had the Soundmaster AW32 as well. It was one that she bought, and she used that for composing music. I did buy a Soundmaster PNP32 not too long ago, but that's almost like an upgraded Vibra in that sense. It's I think it's a plug-and-play kind of simplified system. Or I think what they did was they took the Soundmaster AW64 and kind of converted that to 32, if that makes sense. So it has the later version. So the first actual retail sound card I bought by myself was a Soundmaster AW64, which is still here, in the pension machine that we stream from all the time. That is the exact same card that I bought new, so. Eating Philly cheesesteak? That's true, yeah. Especially if you didn't have any sound card in his PC speaker. But here it sounds just great. Okay, you can return now. We got enough. Here's my little flyer. So yeah, it's, I don't have my first PC anymore, per se, but yeah, I did buy the Soundmaster AW64 and used it in the equivalent computer. Iniboka, welcome. Okay, yeah, because you went abroad to buy that sound card, right? Spending the money you shouldn't have spent. Like, many of us had a situation where we got money for something and then ended up buying something we shouldn't have. I did that with a PS2. And long story short, met my wife that way, I guess, so. This music is not that epic here. Oh. Put down the Casio keyboard. Put down the Casio keyboard and walk away. Well, happy birthday, Boka. Everyone wish Boka a happy birthday. Well, yeah. I mean, you did buy abroad, just. Meow. Desert mongoose. That is true. My my parents, who had given me like living money, were not as pleased that I asked for money to like food and stuff, and then decided to eat like ramen for a while and bought a PS2 instead. So I guess it turned out alright. Yeah, the soundtrack is still great, and then the remix soundtrack that they used then in Dune 2000 is fantastic, so. And Westwood, again, during this era, the presentation of their games was excellent. Yeah, I don't get rid of much, of course. But I have got rid of some stuff. So what I still have, two things that I do value pretty highly, but do use, is a Orchid Voodoo 1, and then that Soundmaster AW64. And both of those are in the Pension 1 machine here, so they're perfect fits for that, so. Go here. Not quite sure what he's looking at. That's right. This game lets you. Shifty eyes. I think it's a refinery, right? Yeah. Sorry, that was the copy protection, and it got the better of me. But that's right, we're not going to play Dune 2 anymore. I was done playing that anyway, so... that is one game I really wish I had boxed, and I actually kicked myself a little bit because... yeah, I saw it on eBay years ago for like $25, and it sold for that. I think we'll buy it now even. I'm like, well, I shouldn't buy it. 25 bucks is a lot for a box game. I'm like, Dune 2, in good condition now, box is considerably more than that, so. Yeah, and I think that a lot of us did that. There was like, you either had whatever came with the machine, or whatever was included, or whatever that was cheap, right? So, alright, so we're not playing Dune 2. Let's play another game that is a little faster, which we have definitely seen. Turn to try it. And this one doesn't call out the card specifically, but should work. Using the Sound Blaster compatibility in the ad-lib. Evening, William. So yeah, we're talking about that one earlier. May have to copy that over here now. I don't have that installed on this machine right now, but I think that this game is one that has a really good soundtrack, so. It's also kind of bonkers. So yeah, we're using Sound Blaster setup. And Sound Blaster again. So there's no call out here specifically to the did work. Interesting enough, I was testing out Epic Pinball, thinking that has really good music, but it uses, I think, mod music, but I want to test it. It would not initialize, so that's the first game, excuse me, that sound has not worked. That I tested it, at least. I mean, I'm sure there's more, but it did not work at all. And it actually almost like locked up the audio driver, and after that, music wouldn't work, or the Sound Blaster compatibility wouldn't work. Every game I tried after that was not finding the Sound Blaster, and I think that the Epic locked it up somehow, the Epic Pinball, and then I had to restart to reclaim the sound card, and I think that the interrupt was occupied, basically, so it could not initialize the card, which is really weird, so yeah, it did. And that's the thing, I would love to grab a sound card just from the perspective of the uniqueness or the cool sound, but it's not worth what people want. It's just not. I mean, it's worth that to some people, of course, but I have a hard time justifying several $100s for a single piece of retro hardware, even though Revenant keeps trying to poke and prod me into those compacts, but. Yeah, someone say my changes. It was an epic fail. Haha. Nice. I don't think I ever tested Longhorn. Oh, maybe I did. Like, everyone was hungry for the new, especially it looked so cool with Vista and everything, and then you started playing, and, like, it just felt, like, sluggish, and there you go. I gotta change the resolution, but, I kind of do want to revisit Vista with a powerful machine, because I had Vista for a very short amount of time. I think many of us really did, and skipped it as soon as we could. Was that a thunder? Was that a thunder-ish sound? It sounded like thunder to me. We have sound effects, y'all. Wolfenstein 3D, I believe. I think there's probably a lot more people in here that are experts at this game than I am. And I believe this is using a amplified version of the Wolfenstein engine, because it's flat in the same way that Wolfenstein 3D is. It doesn't have, like, nearly as many features on the movement and everything, or the map design. They're more squared off, so. That looks like me. The difficulty levels here. Which part is the trigger? A pet dance from a grenade. The enemy will devour me. Yep, we'll go with the easy one. When they were taunting you back in the day. 1 year in the future. That's thunder. And there was a remake of this. I saw Sid 11's video on, I think, but it was pretty mediocre from what I understand. I never tried it, so. I never really played Rise to Try It. I just remember seeing it in magazines and in previews and stuff like that. There goes our ride home. But it had a lot of characterization, I remember the big thing was that they had like so many different rocket launchers and like the weapon variety, and it was kind of like a crazy game compared to like Doom and stuff. I turn up the music a little more, right? It's just so in your face and like over the top, you know? Monk meal. There's a lot of thundering going on. Really? Because this is made by Apogee, right? So Tom Hall was credits of the developers. Boing. It's just so zany. You're shooting me. It didn't look, I mean, it looks zanier, but not as impressive as, you know, Doom and stuff, so. Ah, it's Blake Stone. Ah. Ah. Boing. I think there's a secret weapon, yeah. Here's the God Hand. God mode. Now we're gonna shoot, like, homing God. And it gets weird. Real weird. Real weird. Real weird. Can I get up here? Yeah, it is just... That's the thing that I associate this game with a lot. It's just weird. What is that, anyway? Bulletproof armor. The music is fantastic, yeah, but... Guess I lost my god stuff. Happens to the best of us. But it sounds great on this card, and I think that this makes this card very era-appropriate in that sense, because it is just exactly what you'd expect. Rocket launcher. Heat seeker. Thanks. I just failed the copy protection in Dune 2, so...
Die.
How about you die? Splat. And some food here. The sound feels like a little off or something. Yeah, it is a little, this game is a little weird. Ooh, Nox. That is fantastic. We did stream that a while back, but that is one of my favorite action RPGs. Well, not favorite, I shouldn't say. I haven't played it that much, but that's a game I played all the way through back in the day. I will say, it's not the stream that's causing it to feel like it's a little weird or laggy, or the sound is a little delayed sometimes. That is a type of bazooka. That does not look like a bazooka to me, but whatever. It is that way on my side, too. It feels like the sound is just not really attached to the game almost, but maybe that's just the way this game is. I'm not sure. Yeah, Nox is fantastic. I do really enjoy that. Again, Westwood's production quality. You're right. We should do that. Can I save the game? I think I did that when I was troubleshooting it. Because I set it to lower. You're correct. We should increase that for sure. Can configure sound. Thanks for pointing that out. So I definitely had set that when I was messing with it, so. Let's try it out now. We can actually hear multiple things. 'Cause you're right, it was very, like, stop. Yeah. I mean, it is, you know, compatible, but it is using their own Thunder chip as a Sound Blaster or AdLib compatible, right? But, let's see if that sounds better now. It's just so zany, I guess, compared to, like, Doom and everything, and... That sounds better. Thanks for that tip. I completely forgot about that, because I think I was messing with it and said everything... Ludicrous Gibbs! Set everything super low when I was trying to get the sound to work, not realizing an epic pinballs would cause a problem, so... Stop flying around. That's true, yeah. It probably uses more horsepower, right, to have multiple voices, because you're asking it to send music like that. Sure, and let's call it, is it just Striker? Or is it like someone else, like Major Striker or something? I can get it ready on the mast for this. Give me a second to take care of that real quick. You can listen to this rad soundtrack. Striker, right? Major Striker. Too bad I don't know my alphabet here. I'll have to go into Windows 3.11 to copy that file. I don't have networking enabled in DOS yet, but that's just me, so. There we go. All right, that's copied over, so we can take care of that here in a minute. And we can also just do a little quick showcase in Windows 3.11 then while we're copying that file over. Doesn't look like too much of a large game. Ooh, that's a pretty advanced map. Like, they were pretty creative in how they used it. What's with all the Nazis or whatever those dudes are and this balancing thing? So it is quite silly. Totally should remix that.
Shoot him!
Shoot him! Don't shoot him. For those that didn't quite catch that in the last video, Kate actually made me a Doom remix for my outro. So definitely go check that out. Look in the description on the video there. You can hear the actual track on SoundCloud. And it sounded great, so I appreciate you making me special music for my video. Terminal Velocity is fantastic too, my goodness. That soundtrack is great. Although it's repetitive. But that like bass line in the early stages are fantastic. Oh no, it's shooting me there. Without the Doom guy's head turning, how would I know who's shooting at me? Well, that makes it even more justified shooting them.
Shoot him!
The movement is so weird. Ah. That's true. It was a bad movie, alright? Matthew Broderick could have done better.
Shoot him.
Shoot him.
Shoot him.
I like how they're just falling down from wherever.
No, don't shoot. Please.
Did someone say don't shoot? I'm confused. I'm here to shoot things. Yeah, this must be fun in multiplayer. Not gonna lie, I kinda wanna try that in multiplayer and see how it is. That is so zany. A door closes.
Die.
You die. I'm the guy with a 2 gun. What? You're laying on the ground. Haha. It is weird. That's great though. It's easy to forget, like, especially playing... I mean, I tend to focus on, you know, the mid to late 90s, because that's a lot where my coming of age was, and playing a lot of those Windows 95, 98, and up to 2000 games and that stuff. But then you go a little older, and of course this is 1995. Oh, that's right. This is the outro music for Civ 11's videos, isn't it? The remix. I didn't know where that was from, but that makes sense. That's exactly what he uses for his outros, so... That was a great soundtrack, though. That was a good exercise for this card. Let's save, and then we will go and... Go into Windows 11. Windows 11. 3.11. And, get... Oh yeah, that is brutal, especially when you run it for... I was going to say... if you run it... There is a 3DFX version of that, I think, right? But otherwise in software mode, that is very heavy to run, so... I want to see what the resolution's going to end up at here whenever we get into it, because right now it's kind of wonky, so... I'm doing it for work groups. I got the TCP/IP stack from Windows 95 installed on the sucker. That makes it a lot easier to copy things over the network, as I'll show when we get into it. But as we can tell, Windows sound works just fine, so... let's see, we're at 800 by 600. Yep, I think so. Should be all good. And it's not fast because this is the original hardware. For those that didn't catch, this is the original 486 with everything that comes with it. And I'm a sucker for TabWorks because my first real computer, a Compaq, had TabWorks on it. And I wanted to relive that. Experience. So, and well, there's TabWorks. And unfortunately, this sound card then came with some extra software called At Your Service. But installing that, it just doesn't work. And I'm not sure if that's because it has remnants from the Sound Blaster 16 installation, you know, whatever it might be, but I couldn't figure out that, so... I know, I'm a rebel like that. I'm also, yeah, I am using a Compaq mouse, so there is that, too. It's interesting enough because when I was trying to recreate that kind of memory or finding it again, finding TabWorks was actually pretty hard. I found that there was a software preservation company or like a nonprofit in the UK that allowed you to get the software for a small donation. So I did that to get it. I think you can probably find it now, but it is pretty unique. They did sell that loose. You could go buy it on a shelf from a shelf in a store, but I'm pretty sure that Compaq was the big pusher of this one, and it's designed to make it look like a file of facts, right? But everything that goes with that, it's a pretty neat way to move around. Of course, we can, you know, play some E-free in here. Apparently, I just read there's a way to boost your speed in here to go faster and actually outrun the Yeti. Whee! Ouch. But, you know, there's no sound in here, of course. I wasn't looking. Which one required? Sorry, I missed the conversation there now, but is it really required? I have our I think I have Aquanox, not Archimedean Dynasty. I'm looking on my shelf here now. As I'm skiing with expert without even looking. I'm that cool. Yeah, I have Aquanox. I was thinking Archimedean Dynasty. It's got to be one of the first ones. Yes, I believe so. At least it's an automatically bat, so. Ouch. I'm gonna make it. Yay! No Yeti, though. Can't remember if they come automatically eventually, but... so, what I do now, I guess I can show that the sound actually does work in here. So yeah, sound does work. I played a lot of the entertainment pack stuff because it came preloaded on my compact, so I spent a lot of time playing those. And it's these huge freezes, and I'm not sure if that's the computer. Well, we knew that. I didn't need a game to tell me that. Apparently it just froze. All right, fair enough. I need a game to tell me I have no style. Anyway, so what I've done is I basically have mapped my NAS into here, and I'm using the TCP/IP stack from inside of Windows 95. You can install that on Windows 3.11, and it makes networking a lot easier in here. Just a network card, and you can see here's my hard drive, and that's fine. I have all the games here, but then I have a R drive mapped, and that's literally my NAS with just games on it. So now I transferred from my main computer to my NAS, and now I can get it here, and that makes it a lot easier. So this was the major. Unfortunately, it doesn't, as you can tell, it's 8.3 file names, so the long file names is completely gibberish to this game, but we'll find the right one. Yeah, whatever. I know it's in here. That's Monkey Island. Not that one. There it is. Striker. So we're going to copy. I'm going to do... Actually, this... Nah, we'll just copy it. Copy this to C games. There we go. Now I'm just copying it to directly to my hard drive. Now, if I have enough space, I don't think this game was very large, but I did really squish into the limits, if you will, on what I could fit on that drive, because it is only 400 meg. So I'm going to see what it looks like, because it probably just got a funky name there. Rename that to Striker. That's right, the human eye can only see 12 FPS anyway. There we go. Yeah, it is really, really useful, and I keep saying that, but it's one of my things I really want to cover in a video is networking retro computers like this, because it is not that complicated. And especially in 95 and forward is quite straightforward and simple. And the ability to copy files back and forth is a lot faster than running with CDs or whatever. So it's a nice option to have, and I really want to do a video on that. So I have committed to making one video a month here now for this year. So I'm going to start working on my next video for February. So it's at this point, it will be hard for me to go back to not having networking. So. Yeah, so I confuse Aquanox with which one we're talking about now? We talked about Aquanox and Archimedean Dynasty, right? Because I have Aquanox, and that one I think we tried a demo on that one a while back, and it's kind of like designed to be an underwater action shooter thing, flight sim almost, right? But those early 3D games are really fascinating too, especially running in software mode. So now we should have Striker. Striker. Does it have any setup or anything? It's just Striker. Adlib detected. Sound Blaster detected. Easy enough. I have not. I am... Oh, look. I absolutely bought that. I am not... No. And I'm planning on doing a video. Oh, really? Interesting. Because I remember Archimedean Dynasty being talked about or reading in previews or magazine stuff. I know that it was very similar, and I mixed the two together all the time. Major Striker. That's pretty deep there, Bruce. That's a confusing amount of machines into itself there. So there's supposed to be music here? That's not good. Any settings here? There we go. It was off. Eating foil? Well, we fixed that now. Well, that's pretty cool. That's awesome. Huh. The Thunderboard handles this without a problem, so... Now, like I mentioned earlier too, and that's something I should have mentioned in the video for the sound card too. Again, with that extra powered outlet or the amplified out, I do have to capture it, or capture this audio through another speaker set. So it goes into a speaker, and then the audio out on that is what I am using to capture it. Otherwise, you just get clipping, so... But... Instructions. You must fly your ship through the 2 zones of each mission and destroy the boss cretin. That music is amazing. Yeah, thanks for the recommendation of chat here. A lava planet? Hmm. Well, that sounds good. That was amazing, but I'm a little concerned about the lava planet. Some pretty radical animations here. Fleet Admiral Yoshira, due to the critical importance of your mission, I'll personally monitor your success and feed you new data as intelligence gathers it. That is a lot of dials on that control panel. Is this supposed to be like a readable control panel? Holy crud. The button's on the right side. It gives the X-Wing a run for its money. As soon as you cross through the wormhole, our communications link will be maintained by relay probes that we've already dispatched. That's a great recommendation. Thanks so much for that, because this is great. Oh, gotta be simping even in DOS games, really? He is pretty dreamy, though. Good luck, Major Striker. Okay, what's the... That's just a screen clear. There it is. Oh, wow. That went well. I didn't really see what was scrolling. Okay. I've never played this. Now I see the scrolling here. This is definitely early DOS here. Going great. I haven't even made it to Lava Planet yet. The music is fantastic, though. Yeah, I just wasted all my bombs there. I know where Tyrion got his inspiration from here now. Yes, upgrade. Oh, I didn't even change the ship there, I think so. It's funny too, because you get, like, used to, like, games scrolling smoothly and stuff, but that was not a given in DOS games way back, you know. Very. Oh. Now we're talking. Pew. Pew. What's that? The sound effects are definitely... Red gun, yes. gotta tap all to shoot. Boy, I could definitely see spending a lot of time playing this and trying to get a little further each time. This is great. But yeah, my hands hurt a little bit from pressing the alt. Ooh. Can't quite see where the bullets are. The shields. Thank you. Pretty much. We gotta make the lava planet at least. But it's, you know, as we're messing with this now, the sound card just works, right? In general. The only one I said I couldn't figure out was the... Look at that. Now we're getting to spread gun territory. Holy crud. Oh, okay. Whee! Yeah, exactly. This is very impressive considering what... I don't know when this game was made. Was it 92 or something when it said? Think about what PC gaming was back then. Whee! Like... Whee! This 93, this was not a given, you know, and you think how fast PC gaming developed there for a while. Because, I mean, we were in Super Nintendo territory for this one, right? And you compare this to Super Nintendo games, I mean, yeah, that doesn't hold up very well at that point. But, you know, before you got good, like, sound standards, video standards, and that Wii sounds very underwhelmed. Wii, thanks for saving me. Whee. That was pretty great, actually. One up, I'll take that. Yeah, this is definitely like, you know, I would definitely call it beyond NES, but, you know, you compare it to 16-bit, then it doesn't really hold a candle in the wind, and not like people would seek this out, but I don't think I've ever heard of this. I'm trying to think if there's any time I've seen someone mention it or something, but this is a great recommendation, though. And our Thunderboard is handling it just fine. Kinda goes on, though. One up, I need... Oh, and it's gone. Whee. It's an interesting era in gaming, because I came into PC gaming a little later than this, and, you know, only saw more advanced games later on. Yeah, it is running very slow, but like you said, it's like 12 FPS locked, but it's probably just to handle the scrolling, I'm guessing, right? Because, I mean, that smooth scrolling was not a given, and this is before the Commander Keen games, or were they later? Because that was the thing that, you know, when they made the Commander Keen games, that they were the ones that really, like, brought in the smooth scrolling platform was feasible on this, right? Yeah, I didn't even fall into Lava Planet. Alright. Cool, my hand hurts from pressing Alt so much, though. No, it's got that same feel. Like, I always feel Duke Nukem 1 and 2 have that kind of, like, jerky movement a little bit. It's not super smooth, and it definitely feels very similar. Oh, look at that. Pretty dreamy guy. Wow. Even a save slot. Good luck, Major Striker. Oh, I get to keep your upgrade. Hopefully no one lives here. Yeah, and that's the thing. All those consoles can do all that smooth scrolling, you know, built in. And that's, you know, something that... Oh, this is just a bonus level. You gotta not die here. Why are we flying through here? This seems very, very unnecessary. Like mentioned. Like a generally bad idea to fly through here. I don't know where the edge of my ship is. Wow. Wait. I'm having a little trouble deciding what's actually... At least all my upgrades. Oh yeah, that was a wall, apparently. Doing great now. Yeah, Nox definitely wants something faster. What's the... How do I get through here? I don't know what I can touch and not touch. I lost all my upgrades. That's the syndrome of shooter design that can get very frustrating, where you lose all your upgrades and you're kind of screwed. Gradius comes to mind. You're just like really in trouble if you lose your upgrades. I'll save you. Don't wee me yet. Oh, I can't walk through it. Okay. Yeah, the speed of any ride would have helped here. This is very sluggish. Aha. Yeah, I'll play this a little bit longer here, but this is a cool game. I would definitely have enjoyed this a lot back then and spent a lot of time, but I don't think I've ever heard of it. I'm curious, how did you guys hear about it? Was it just like something that just games of the era? Was it on your machine? Was there a shareware version? Where, how did you hear about it or find out about it? And it's weird because it's running so slow. That is true. They sure had a good time with that. And that's something for Apogee for that era, right? They just did a lot of that with their weird sound effects. Yeah, it looks like you lose your weapons there as you take hits. And then you're goner. Another guy! Hey, at least it's being honest. The FBI is heading your way. Printed software. Who would ever do such a thing? Yeah, it is very hard to determine what I can touch or not here. And touch this as it were. Can I grab that? B? No B for me. Is there different music for different, Yeah, I just gotta see that fast enough. No, not that I can't. I shouldn't. Watch me. Major Striker is not worried about such things. It does a little zap branding look to him, I will say. Yeah, but wow. Game over, man. Wow, these sound samples and everything. Very cool game. I think I'll take a break from this. It's a little bit of a brutal game to play as far as like movement goes, but that is really cool though. I hit enter too fast, but that was the Aliens crew there. You had Hicks and Hudson in there. That was pretty funny. Yeah, they just captured everything. That wouldn't fly today, obviously, but back then, I guess it was well west of software development, so. Alright, the different options do different things. I got it. Pretty complicated game. It's like, you can see the DNA here going into Tyrion. But this is impressive considering the graphics, yeah, because it started as EGA, I'm guessing, right? So, but it's so typical of the era of like early 90s game design, stretching it. Because again, you didn't have all the stuff that we kind of take for granted now with the smooth scrolling and he just ran. Why is he skiing? It's like he's in a mountain. Same music in all the stages. No, it's the lava one. Okay. Pressing key to exit. That's really cool, though. Very impressive considering what era it came out in. Really? Oh, keyboard with a microphone. Interesting. All right, what else did I throw on here? I just want to try real quick because there is a game here that actually... Oh, not that one. I don't want to run the Windows 3 installation. It is Set Blaster. What was it? Sound.exe. We'd like to use one sound card for music and one for digital effects. Yes. And I want to use AdLib for music. And this game supports the Thunderboard explicitly. And it looks like SSI did it for a couple of games. I don't think there's any difference between the Sound Blaster and the Thunderboard, but it is called out. And that's very few games that have it. So Tyrion have it. Then this one, a couple of games from SSI. But there are very, very few of them. But yeah, you're not wrong, Remnant. Around that era, it was hard to argue. Like, yes, there was a lot of creative games, and you look at more game-oriented systems like the Amiga and stuff like that, computers, you know, and C64 had its fair share of games, obviously. But compared to Super Nintendo and Genesis and, you know, the kind of console games we're getting them, they were pretty killer around that era, right? I mean, think about the games that came out between like 90 and 93, 94 on consoles. There was a lot of good ones. But yeah. We'll use the Thunderboard. Yes, I do want to. There's no difference that I know of doing a different... there's no... To my knowledge, and here's where it gets a little muddy because it's hard to find any extra information on the Thunderboard. It doesn't have anything special going for it. I'm looking at the ad here again now. Yeah. And here is the no hyperbole at all. Lend us your ear, and we will stuff it with caliber of sound that's ears ahead of the competition. See what you did there? And that's terrible. Introducing Thunderboard from MediaVision. No other sound card out there can soar to such incredible heights, or plunge to such awesome lows. And Thunderboard's dynamic filtering means dynamite sound. Higher fidelity, bigger kabooms, and more bang for your buck. That might account for... Some people comment on the video that the Thunderboard sound a little more muffled in some games, and that might be it, to have some filtering built in then. In addition, with the Thunderboard, you get 3 free PC action game samplers. Nova 9, Lemmings, and Lexicross. Plus free Thundermaster software lets you record and edit sound files with a waveform editor. What's more, Thunderboard has a breakthrough features to let you break all sound barriers, like twice the digitized audio playback and recording capability, at an explosive 22 kilohertz compared to the competition's puny 11 kilohertz. Old 90s ads never change. Also, you get a squadron of powerful extras like a joystick port, headphone jack, an 11 voice FM music synthesizer that lets you score music as well as score points, and a power amplifier with built-in volume controls so you can have yourself a real blast without blasting the neighbors. So take out for a dealer near you and go from static to ecstatic, because with Thunderboard, hearing is believing. Well, I am sold. My goodness. But that said, I think it has to do more with like hardware. Like, this sounds like more about the filtering pieces. There's no like extra sound or instructions that, to my knowledge, on the Thunderboard, but there isn't much information about it. But yeah. What's the freaking game? Run. It's okay. This is Eye of the Beholder 3. And it's got a gorgeous intro, too. And this is one of the later. We're not going to play this super long. And I am not huge on these dungeon crawlers like we did Dungeon Master 2, and that was fun. But a lot of these are really complex, and they go so deep, so fast. But I wanted to just... but I just wanted to kind of like test this out because it does have Thunderboard support. And there are not that many games that do. And I think there might be more, but it's just not documented in really any place. I found one wiki page that had this information on it, so that was helpful. But they list like 4 games, including like Windows itself. So Yeah, some of those are really involved, and that was the thing. They were spawned from the D&D side of things, right, where it was just complicated with numbers and very deep lore, very deep like stat system and stuff like that, and that's where that came from. This was not your light-hearted action RPGs. My master beseeches you and pleads for your help. Cool music though, but this is still ad-lib, so... Yeah, I think I have... Okay, maybe not. I was thinking of the SSI gold boxes, so... I can't even remember what games I have anymore, so... He's a wizard, he doesn't have to. And that's the thing too, that this establishes it so well, right? It goes like so far to like make it. I mean, this is a impressive presentation for it, and this is '93, so this came out the same year as Major Striker. Then, just to prove a point there, I guess. Now SSI, of course, was a big developer, so it's not like, and this is an official Advanced Dungeons and Dragons product, so it's not like gather a new party. Dwarf female fighter. Look good. Yeah, I'm not gonna go too far in this game. We're just gonna like throw it together here. Human male, do paladin. Lawful good, of course. Yeah, it looks good. This is our party. And the graphics are really good. I mean, I will give it that. There was something in that particular era where just like the pixel artistry of this was just fantastic. And yeah, it really is. They did really wonderful things. Ooh, that's right. We have Loom as well. I can't forget about that one. And they let you like go pretty far into the selection and everything here. We'll do a male mage, sure. Neutral good. Yeah, that looks great. It's my mage or elf. I want to see how the game looks a little bit quick. Mostly just from the fact that it has to have sound support, and these games are so involved that I don't want to dwell too long on it because you could get really stuck in these kind of games. The role-playing games like this are so deep. My poor hard drive is chugging around a lot now. Yeah, that's true. There was a long time. And you think about like where this machine feels like a pivoting point, like the 46 mid-range ones, and you get into the Pentium class machines, and then 3D acceleration comes in, and it took off fast there with DOS, and the more complex games started coming out. I mean, it really was like kind of a breaking point to me, or at least changing point there when you jump to that mid-range 46, like this machine here. Everything from here on now started getting really advanced graphically. Yes, if you find a piece of CRT, definitely do a 360. That VGA cable looks phenomenal on 360. Does a great job. You run it at like 1280 by 1024 or something, and it looks great, super crisp. We're talking about the Colossal Caves remake. Well, that's more of a Ken Williams thing, right? I've heard it was pretty, but I haven't tried it, so I shouldn't judge it either. Ooh, listen to that chirping sound effect. Was that thunder? Hello, ghost. Spells, yeah, the problem is that I don't want to exit, how do I close this character window? Oh, run away! Brave, brave Sir Robin. These games don't kid around. They just throw you right into just like, you know, good luck. F this. Tree. And I think these games are just, you know, they worked well if you're just looking to lose yourself in a game forever. For Pete's sake. Can't see me. What is this game here? Graveyard just goes on forever. And all these dungeon crawlers like this, they're really impressive. Oh, look, there he is. Halt! Leader of the Knights of Myth Draenor, and we're here to discourage any further looting from this once great city. Thieves will not be tolerated. We're here to fight against evil. Yeah, as a kid, that's the thing too. A lot of these games were very much geared towards adults, I think, as far as like this goes, because they were looking for people that are min-max, like the people that would like, I'm gonna look at every stat and do all the stuff, and you know, but it's not a drop in and play game. It's very much like we're playing a D&D game here. That guy just don't leave me here. Hello. They have a charm to them. And I mean, I did enjoy the time we spent with Dynamite. Well, I can confirm the sound works. But how do you use magic? You can't put that there. It is loading. Punch it. That did something. Yeah, that's the thing. Like they don't kid around with these games. Like these games feel like they're designed to expect you to basically be like plowing through the manual and knowing everything about the game as soon as you get in there. But the sound works great. But yeah, they're hard to play, these kind of games. We did install another one that everyone talked about as well, which does work great, which is Loom, which I have never played. I feel bad saying that, but that's just the way it is. So, considering I love the refer to your Loom manual, we'll do standard, I guess. I believe it should be fixed. There we go. Welcome to Age of Great Guilds. Well, which one I think is this one. Oh, that's right. You have to run with the executable here. This is one of those games that has there we go, Alt-X. And the thing with these games around this era is that they all have their own like keyboard shortcuts. And you have to like mess with it. So I think it's Loom Adlib. There we go. Yeah. Now there should be intro music. The Thunderboard does a lovely job here too. Although quite noisy, so. But it's, you know, it's a neat card. I'm learning to really like it because of this compatibility, and I mean the thing is it's not a unique sound, right? So it sounds like a Sound Blaster clone. That's I think this is the EGA version, right? Not running in VGA mode based on what I can tell, but maybe it is. A messenger nymph. Never seen one so bright before. The elders must have woven it. Better get down to the village. And this is from the Exodus collection, which does include the CD and everything, so... Last leaf of the year. Oh, really? Then the EGA may be the better one to play then, for at least for the perspective of keeping it, like, keeping it real. Nice. I am very tempted to buy the big box from Limited Run Games for this one, mostly because the PC version is so ridiculously expensive to get anymore. A lot of those games are, I mean... I wonder. There's probably someone has done that, right? Walk around here. Hello. Money? People ought to clean up after themselves. LucasArts. They were just something else for some of the point-and-click adventure games. And I also will say, sadly, so I haven't played the new Monkey Island. I also have never played through Monkey Island 2. And I feel that's an oversight on my part. And I really should just start working on that and play through that. That's just feels like a huge hole in my gaming knowledge. It is some pretty unique... Oops. Some pretty unique stuff with the interface on this one. I also thought it was really good looking. This is the book of patterns that Hetchel lets me read sometimes. Better take it with me. Sure, why not? Lothrak, ugly green. And there's something with these point-and-click adventure games, like the scenes and everything can look so good. Like, I don't know, the hand-drawn, you know, it's bubbling. The pixel artistry in a lot of these games are just, it's just gorgeous. That's the challenge when you're doing builds and stuff. If you get too large of a case, I actually have a work-related story on that one because I've worked in IT for a long time, and a long time ago they asked me to, as we often did, spec out a server for a remote office, and the price was always a factor because they didn't want to spend too much. So I looked at the Dell to build one, and that's what was their provider at the time. And they had one case that looked good because it had everything that we needed. It had the right amount of hard drives and or enough expansion space and everything. So I got it, and I ordered it, and they approved it. I mean, my manager approved it. We bought it, and when it got there, it was ginormous. I've never seen such a large, like, it was rack mountable, but it was like full depth. So if you think about a full rack mountable server, the depth of that is very, very deep. And yeah, you're not wrong. Well, interesting enough, I'm looking at a CRT now, and the alpha blend is not even, is barely happening. It doesn't even look that good on my CRT. But anyway, that case arrived, and it was so huge we could not rack mount it. We had to just basically put it on the floor instead of that server, that location. I remember my manager was grumbling like, "Wow, this is huge." And I'm like, hey, that's what we approved and ordered because the price was right, and price was always a concern. I think they were trying to get rid of those huge cases. I mean, it was like a freaking 5 or 6 U full depth rack case. So it was ginormous, and it weighed a ton too. I think we had to 2 people carry it up the stairs. So, yeah, it's very musical, right? It's a gorgeous game, really. Made look at the tapestries. Last section of the long tapestry illustrates the decline of the guilds and the gathering of the third shadow. Yeah, you're probably right, Doppler, because this is a later ViewSonic, right, that I'm playing on, so probably guessing that they weren't playing on that. I do not have it, no. Well, I have it from Exodus, yeah. Looks like the elders are busy. Wouldn't want to interrupt. You have heard the findings of the High Council, Dame Hetchel. What do you have to say in your defense? I have no defense or excuses, Elder Atropos. My action speaks for themselves. Ooh, defiant. No defense, not the slightest remorse. The reckless defiance is intolerable. Why do you disobey us, Hetchel? You have always upheld the rules of membership to the letter. Tell us what is in your heart. The boy must be told the truth about his birth, Elder Clothos. Ooh, intrigue. His talent awakens. A force, as it were. Soon he will wield the power of weaving, whether we choose to guide him or not. He would dare not desert Bobbin now. Stubborn old fool. The secret you revealed to Signa's son may be turned against us. This is why his training was forbidden by this council. Enough latches. Yeah, I should definitely do that. We need not explain our decisions. It grieves me to see your many years of faithful service end in this disgrace. Always mad. But the wisdom of the elders may not be questioned. That is the final rule of membership. Ooh. Another one of your students, Lady Signa, learned the terrible price of defiance in this very chamber 17 years ago. Better that you had that heeded that lesson. That's weird, it does that, because the close-ups add a lot of character. I love the graphical design, this is amazing. My destiny is in your hand, elders. Our hands are empty, Hetchel. Gaze once more upon the great loom if you would know your destiny. My mother has a loom. For behold, that destiny is upon us. My mother has 2 looms, because you might need to. Later. Well, that's harsh. A swan's egg. Curious destiny. The draft has never failed before. Hark. I heard a cry outside. I don't know if there is an FM Towns core. There might be. I feel like I'm getting a lot out of the loop on the Mister lately, so. Alas, because I am a goose. The guild is under attack. Yeah, exactly. Who dares to desecrate the loom of the weavers? Eton, this is the work of the demon boy. Geese. Kill it while you still can, Atropos. Cursed forever be the name of Signa's son, the loom child, Bobbin Threadbare. Ooh. Yeah, we're getting some real cool, like, some really cool, like, you know, forbidden fruit computers here soon, so. I got the analog board because I use it for playing on a CRT. That's where it's really, really helpful. You're not up to speed here, Doppler. There's geese and there's looms and magics and flying and eggs. I mean, come on. Alright, thanks for stopping by, Bruce. See you later. No explanations, no goodbyes, just an egg. Why do they always leave me behind? I'm gonna take that egg. Trying to open. Can I take it? Yeah, for sure. That's a fun game. Can I whack it? Take the staff. Yeah, digital is nice. It's mostly if you want to... it's true, eggs are expensive. If you want to do multiple outputs, that's where digital one. Because, I mean, you can do single digital out and you're fine, so... I suppose I ought to point at something first. The thread is too high for me. I guess I need more experience. Okay, I can't... Okay. Ah. Nice. Musical stuff. And it's a black deck. Thank goodness you're still here. Mother Hetchel, is that you? You know perfectly well it's me. I saw you watching us. Creepy. What's been happening here, Hetchel? The whole village has flown away. I don't know why they can shapeshift into ducks or geese. I'd hope the swan might come to save you. Oh, the swan. I never expected her to weave as much mischief as this. Save me from what? From the elders. They were going to turn you into a swan as they tried to do it to me. Oh, he's an ugly duckling now. Nice touch. Looks as if Signet was the best they could do, they could manage with these old bones. Why did elders want to get rid of me? I haven't broken any rules. You're a protagonist of a video game. They fear you, Bobbin. There's a lot of exposition in the beginning here. But why should anyone be afraid of me? Fair enough. Good night. Ever since you came into our world, the elders have watched chaos spread across the pattern in the loom. They hoped that your birth was the cause of this chaos, and order might return if you were banished. As gorgeous graphics in this game, it really is. Especially for the time. But now the elders are banished, and you're still here. This can mean only one thing. We have a point-and-click adventure game ahead of us. The pattern is failing of its own accord. Soon it will come to an end, and with it all that is hemmed into its threads. Ooh. Apocalypse, or a duckopolypse here. A third shadow is nigh. Is there any way to stop it? Probably doing some obscure point-and-click adventure gaming. Stop chaos? The elders thought they could. Now they know better. So should you. If we can't stop the chaos, what can we do? Well, that's intriguing. I'm getting pulled in now, but we can embrace it or escape. The swan has rescued the rest of our guild from the coming time of darkness. The way before us now is clear. We must find out where our flock has flown and join them if we can. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, how long do I play this? Because you don't want to spoil the game if I ever stream it. And I need to be a little careful when I do this for these multi-streams. So, you've already found the Elder's distaff. Good. Never let it out of your grasp. You won't be able to weave very much with it at first, I expect. But as you gain practice, more and more of its power will reveal itself to you. It's a cool premise. I'm surprised that they went this unique back then, because, you know, you think LucasArts, for me, it's going to be, as long as the distaff remains in your hands, I'll know you're safe. If you ever lose it, take heart. I'll come to help you if I can. It's the, you know, mid-90s point-and-click adventure games. All your Sam & Max and your, leave this island, Loom Child. It's too small for you now. Very distant. Your destiny lies beyond the sea. Mother Hetchel, where are you going? Later. We follow the swans. Whoa. Toward reality, a new one. Wish I knew everyone. I knew why everyone keeps calling me Loom Child. Just really creative graphics. Just really digging the palettes and the use of EJ here. Looks just really, really good. I may have to make a dedicated Loom stream, and maybe by the time I get the big box from Limited Run Games next year. So if you were to play it now, coming in blank, for those that have played Loom, which one would you prefer then? Because we talked earlier here now about the fact that there's no like enhanced version, like there's a, you know, talkie version of Monkey Island where they take all the special edition talkie stuff and put it in the VGA version, which is kind of the best of the best. So oh, okay, that's true. We have Kirby the Corgi has arrived, and he is really interested in this direction. He's not used to being held this much. What do you think? He's here to weave the loom, or at least chase those birds, I'm thinking. What are you doing down here, anyway? It was for a while. He wouldn't go downstairs. He wouldn't come down here, but he has no qualms about that anymore, so... These short little legs can't handle stairs very well, so... He is sturdy guy. He's a very sturdy guy. I know. I don't have any food down here. Yeah, that's true. I should probably do that first, huh? Yeah, because yeah, like people were mentioning that it came with a audio drama in the box, right? And I think that they're releasing that on a CD actually included in the Limited Run Games edition, which is a really nice touch. So, but it sounds like it's kind of integral to the story. But it's really, like, I'm just really digging the graphics here. And they have I'll say it's, I think that they said the EGA version is included on the, there's like a USB stick that has the EGA version included on there. Because people were asking that too. I noticed that several of the people like that I follow, like some of the Anatoly, the DOS retweeter guy, he asked that same question to Limit Run, and they said that the EGA version is included on the USB stick. So, but if you play it today now, then the preferred way would be this one, then the EGA version with the ad-lib here. I mean, it looks gorgeous. It sounds great. It seems like a very interesting game. But yeah, if we're gonna play it at some point, I don't want to get too far into it. I'll play some other games tonight, but it would be fun to maybe stream this game completely and see if we can finish it in one round. I'm not sure, but. Okay. Yeah, well, especially when I'm playing myself, it has a lot of character. Like, you know, you play an Amiga game or point-and-click adventure game, it's fine. But the voice acting and stuff like that, especially, you know, again, you get into the Sam & Max territory, the Full Throttle and that stuff. I mean, that's a completely different era of talky point-and-click adventure games. So, how do you... Alt X. So there we go. All right. So Loom. We got a little ways in that. I'm not going to spoil it too much, but clearly the sound works fantastic. So we have quite a few other games here. I threw in a whole bunch of other ones. We'll try this one because I wanted to have a Thunder game, and that is God of Thunder. So why not? Hey, dog. What you doing? Look at me like I'm not doing anything. Knocking stuff over, and he's like, what was that? We have Descent as well. Maybe play that in a second here, but we should play God of Thunder. And I have not played that at all, because I just was looking up, I need some Thunder game for our Thunderboard, and this one felt like a good one. We'll see on the volume here now. Yeah, this... Thunder. He goes hard right away. It goes really hard on the thunder thing or whatever. No Lords of Thunder, but it's got really weird sound effects too. But I couldn't figure out what kind of game this was, and it reminded me a little bit, I mean, especially, this is very much an early DOS-style game, but, like, got some Amiga tones to it, too, like how it is. Save slot and everything. And did it... No, it didn't crash. I thought it did there. Good music. Oops. Oh, the standby. What resolution is this? Yeah, that's a weird resolution here now going on. It really switched up, so I'll see if the capture likes this. Huh. like 720 by 400, but then like not aligned. Year is 92780 as mortals reckon time, and Almighty Odin has summoned you, his faithful and heroic son, to the great hall of Asgard. Thor, my son, your evil half-brother Loki, the god of mischief, never heard that, has once again betrayed me, us. While I slept, the great Odin sleep, he man. I know all this stuff from MCU now. Ooh, scrolling. Yes, I'm using a software called VCS, which is a custom-built capture software for the E1s, and then I just capture the window of that into OBS. So OBS is not capturing directly. Mjolnir, the enchanted hammer, or Mjolnir, as he would say, made for me by the King of Trolls. Now armed with only your enchanted hammer and considerable wits, you must journey to Midgard and destroy Jormungand. Hail Asgard. God of Thunder, Part 1, Serpent Surprise. What's with the sound effect? I'm not sure what the heck this resolution is. Let me set this up real quick, 1 second. It's like a weird refresh rate, and that's what's messing with it, so. Hmm, 740 by 400. This. I don't want to mess with this. It's something really weird, but the sound is great. Right there, but I think it's something different. Like, the resolution is really weird. It must be using some non-standard thing here or something. Because there's a lot more on the screen than I see on the CRT. There's an entire control panel on the bottom there. Let's see. Getting closer. Well, that's not right. That's weird. And it's funny because most of the time I have preset stuff for this, but this one is just all over the place here now. That's too much. Everyone enjoying the show so far? That looks better? See if we can get some control of this here now, yeah. This is really weird. It is just like some 720 by 480 kind of thing going on or something. Promise the face is really off now. You see what's shifting around here is the analog phase signal, and that's the kind of last thing you have to fine tune. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get it. Yeah, this is really weird, so... Unfortunately, with this now, I'm getting some weird squigglies, but I don't think I can do anything about that. I do a lot of this stuff before streaming, so that's usually why you don't see me messing with this stuff here now. Later, I'm just gonna call it good enough here, but I might just call it there. It's like, it's not, sorry, my perfectionist in there. It's not perfect, but it is, we'll do this. It is really weird. Okay. Meep, meep. Skill level. Oh, look at that. So, like a Zelda, we can throw the hammer. Cannot carry any more of this item. Fine. My son, you must find and destroy Jormungand. His evil rule must put to an end. When you see one of these glowing oracles, touch it, and I will help you if I can. I have dispatched some of my most trusted angels to help you along the way. This is very Zelda-like. This is cool. You're a dude or one I should... And it's fun to shoot people, but if you kill all the good guys, you'll never complete your mission. You lose points too. Well, I know. He looked bad. He was gonna do something bad. All puzzle elements going on. Wow, I just insta-killed Thor there. We got a little bit of Adventure of Lolo thing going on, it feels like. That thing is shooting. Wow. I think I can throw diagonally, so... Ow. Oh, there we go. Oh, I guess I can't. You must gather 100 jewels to remove this. Well, jeez. Yeah, it's definitely a tips challenge, Lolo, that kind of thing going on. But it's pretty cool so far, especially if you think about the era. Can I talk to you? You must be the one who sent down to Almighty Odin. Oh yeah, I kind of killed you a second ago. The one who will free us from Jormungand's rule. Loki sent him to rule our land instead. Okay. The throwing mechanic's pretty cool, but hard to target. You need a key to open this door. This door's John. Blam! My. Or almost got smacked around by some rats there. Ooh. Ooh. What is it with sound effect recordings back in the day for DOS games like this? They all had just like stuff weird like sounds. I guess they were just having fun with recording. They could. A lot of these were made, you know, basically bedroom coders, right? So. Ooh. Yeah, basically. And that's fine, like the, you know, ragtag or whatever, but it's just like often they chose such weird ones, right? Like in this case, ooh. Like we need to have that trigger every time. like the under... the world thing here, or like the side thing from Zelda 2 almost. Or Link to the Past. Not Link to the Past, Link's Awakening. Ow, ow, ow. Use it. It definitely adds a charm. It's still silly as hell. Got enough key or coins now to get in there. It also controls just a little janky, and that's to be expected. Key. I can go back and open that thing. That's a good Thunder game for our Thunderboard. Ew. Ooh. Where am I? Did I get past? Oh, there we go. Puzzle-rific. Sometime Thor fought some bugs. Oh, they have to... Leave me alone, I'm looking for something. They have to be going up, right, for you to not be able to... I think I saw that in the demo. Whew. All Zilliard stuff going on here too, almost, but... Ew, ew, ew. Ew, ew. Nice. Ew. Ew. This never gets old. There's a magic to it. Ow. Ew. Oh my, skunks? Jeez. Well, they're not kidding around with those animals. They're like... We can't go up there. Okay. I'm standing on the thing. That was a poor choice. I'm not sure if it was running too fast or something. I guess I'm not sure. This would probably have been more of a earlier 486 or something. There we go. That was a better choice. Ew. Ew. That was a poor choice. Reset the room. Definitely's got some Lolo's Quest thing going on there. For those who haven't played that, I think that's an NES puzzle game where you're shifting blocks around, and most of the enemies will kill you in one hit, so you gotta be really strategic on where you go. Ooh, got the key. The skunks just freaking wreck me. Ooh, that hair, that looks good. Yeah, a little bit. It seems like it's just running just too fast. You found the enchanted apple. This item will heal your wounds. Hold down control to use it. Nice. This is more mana than Welcome to Spegville. Are you the one spoken to by the prophets? The one who will free us from the tyranny of Jormungand? Ah, that kills you. Oh, you have this little hammer. You must be Relic's new helper. I'll take this. That's very Zelda-like. It does feel like it's speed sensitive, yeah. It's running. It just got the vibe that it's feeling too fast, for sure. Not stopping from robbing everyone, but... Thor. I'm Thor, here to take all your stuff. This is a neat game, though. To be fair, I picked it only because it had a name. Thunder in the name. Man, this pretty hard, but yeah, it does feel like it's running too fast, isn't it? Kind of flying. I won't play this too long, but again, I wanted to have a Thunder game in the repertoire here. Now it appears that I'm walking around randomly, but I'm actually looking for something very, very important to me. Go away! I can't help you until I found what I'm looking for. It kind of plays like this in general. Ooh. There's a shop. Hey there, young man. I'm the local golden apple merchant. I have the best price in the entire realm. I'll sell these delicious golden apples for a mere 5 jewels. That's fantastic. Shooting up all some apples. But I mean, to be fair, if I had this game when I was younger, I would have played this a lot. Probably would have kept going to just get somewhere too. We're all knowing seers of destiny. Blarg, the barkeep, has some important information. Blarg. The barkeep? The low-key bar and grill, dancers nightly. That's not here, is he? Ooh. Oh, wow. Nice. Just filling up on mana. I have enough magic now. Are you the barkeep? Yes. I have heard it's spoken in the legend that Jormungand wears a crown to cover his only weak spot. Oh, that's useful. Oh, it's a cool game. Turbo mode. Let's save first. Oh, I see. Oh, there we go. Whee! Turbo! He's like accelerating too. Okay, so yeah, turbo mode on was almost better at control. This is like too fast, but yeah. Die? Oh, if you're stuck somewhere. Well, still, that's a cool game. The game has been... My goodness. That's actually pretty cool. Again, I picked it just for the sake that it had Thunder in the name, so I'm not going to pretend anything else, but... Alright, keep working on videos. I'm trying to do the same thing and just kind of push and keep working on videos and making videos, because that's the thing, is that it's easy to kind of fall off the horse, as it were. But I'm hoping to, again, make a video every month, so... Play some... we played Heretic last week, but let's play some Descent, and you guys can hear what it sounds like. Descent, of course, is a fantastic game with a fantastic soundtrack. It's funny because I usually play Descent on a Pentium class machine, and you play it on a 46 now. It's not fast, and that's something you kind of get used to with the playing on a newer hardware like Pentium and Pentium 2 and that kind of stuff. Well, Pentium above all, a high performance Pentium 166-200 runs this game beautifully, but On a 46, it's a little rougher. You have to like to set down some of the settings to make it run decently smooth. I think it's right in the middle now, which runs, and I would have played it just fine like that, but it certainly is not terrific. Oh, what a great music in this game. Alright. Thanks for stopping by, Mike. See you next time. I'm really liking this sound card, because again, like we talked many times before now, is that, you know, sound cards, like, there are a lot of cool ones, and of course there's always the, you know, the compatible or good option being Sound Blaster in general is a good choice, usually, because it's really compatible. But a lot of these clones are really neat and interesting. Some of them have unique sound. I'm trying to think of some now, but this one, of course, does not really have a unique sound. It's just very much, you know, it sounds like a Sound Blaster because it has the Yamaha chip on there. And then its own one that is trying to clone Sound Blaster directly, so it sounds very similar. But it's not a bad one. I think it's just what I've definitely found as I was doing the video is the noise levels on it. Some of that filtering going on. So it's not ideal. The music in this game. So it's great, like, unsettling, like, future synth going on. I'm not sure how to describe it, but prepare for descent. Yeah, it doesn't run fast on a 46. 66 here. But, I mean, I would have played this game like this, for sure. I think I tried on my 33SX first and had to set the settings down to nothing. But I'm playing it on my Pentium 100 and seeing like, oh my goodness, this is so much better. It's definitely not running fast. This runs so well on a Pentium machine that really likes that extra horsepower. No, it's just got some of the settings set down pretty low, but and it's, again, as you get used to having access to faster retro hardware and how much smoother it runs on newer stuff, and that's the thing. I don't mess around with these older machines that often. I'll say older, it's not old on any real scale per se, but 46s, right? Pentium and newer is where I mostly cut my teeth, so. That I do have, at least 1 and 2. Like anything else, anything that's even remotely like interesting or desirable, the prices keep going up and up and up, and I just can't justify it because they're not worth that much, you know? At least Descent games aren't crazy yet, I guess. They're still somewhat reasonable. Woo. This was really revolutionary too, the being able to move in 6 degrees like this. Yeah, that's one I've actually had some fun doing a while now, is the original Game Boy. Because games there aren't crazy. And don't get me wrong, I'm not going to spend like $40 on one game, but you can get Game Boy games for like $5 to $10. And often they're, you know, they're not deep games, but it can be fun to collect because of that. You can find those decently cheap still. So the games have, like, as far as like real cartridges, like Super Nintendo and Nintendo, it's just gotten ridiculous. And not worth that much. But supply and demand. And And that's a lot what you see behind me too, is from when I was younger. Sure, I've bought many games later on too, but big chunk of my big box games came from when I was younger. Getting all into it now. There's a lot of big dudes back there. Fortunately, the enemies move pretty slow. Because this game can get pretty rough pretty fast if you're not oriented correctly. That's the thing too, it's just crazy. Yeah, the Mister is a great option for that, because then you still get to experience, like, you know, close to the real thing, without having to, you know, worry too much, so. You know, I haven't really at all, and that's something that I would like to mess with too at some point. Like everything else, put it on the pile, right, and mess with it, but I haven't really done much with the low-speed Pentiums, or the Cyrixes. I don't really know I want a single Cyrix processor, actually. And that's true, not like, you know, I'm avoiding them, it just hasn't happened. I don't seek out that many things unless it's something for a specific project, right? So otherwise I just happen to come across things as I find them organically in the wild, too. There's no secrets here. Yeah, the only ones otherwise I mess with really are the AMD, you know, some of the Socket 7 ones, some of the faster ones in that category, but... Yeah, and EverDrive carts are really cool too. The fact that we have that option now. I always love the Vulcan cannon on this. Sounds so cool, but really now that we're already playing it, the sound card works fine, right? It plays this game great. I think for me now that I'm looking at it, it's like, especially my kid, my daughter got into Game Boy, the Super Mario Land 2, and she played it on my original Game Boy. I just replaced the screen, right? And he really, or she really thinks it's fun, but it's a little hard. So I put it to Misdrop by the main TV area where we don't normally have game consoles, or at least old ones. We have a Switch there. And I enabled the cheats and enabled, like, she couldn't die, and she had unlimited time, and she's having a blast playing that on the big screen, right? And something that Mr. like, it gets forgotten a lot is that, yes, it is very, you know, it's very, say, goodness, I'm forgetting words now, apparently. It's very, easy to, yeah, look at the hardware emulation pieces, but all the extra stuff you get around it are fantastic, because the cheats and the peripherals and all that stuff is great on the Mister, and it's so easy. So let me look if I can do this quick. I have an idea. I'll get a picture of this one here. Stand by 1 second here, because I don't have a camera that I can drop down on the 46 here. I'm gonna save a picture from the video and do that here, so. And then I'm gonna go to this showcase real quick here, and then I'm gonna switch out this video card picture here. Where to save that? Oops, it's not very centered here, but this is what we're playing on right now. It's this HP46, which is, you know, this is a bog standard 66 megahertz from the era. You know, your typical at-home PC or whatever. And I got it from a workplace a long time ago that they had this was actually used at that place as an original thing, and they kept it because it was neat. And then they realized they like retro stuff, so then they got me that. And I've had it for a long time. And that's a bone stock. That's why the hard drive started to go, I think. It started grinding I've not done anything to this machine except that Thunderboard. The rest is fully stock. And it's funny part too, because my cousins had one of these machines too, exactly. So it was really fun for me when I found it. We used to play like Crusade and Remorse on that. We played Syndicate Wars, Dungeon Keeper, you know, that kind of stuff on that 46. So it was really a treat for me to get the exact same machine again. But I really should do a full cleanup of it. I'm not sure I'll do it in an episode or not, but I like keeping this stock. Like, yeah, the hard drive's gonna die, but I like that it's a 4666 because it's such an iconic processor and such a typical 46 from that era that I've really enjoyed keeping that stock and keeping it the way it is. So it has the scuffs, you know, it's got ore yellowing and who knows what. So that's right, GoldenEye is being re-released. It sounds like there's some problems there, yeah, with the emulator. So MVG was talking about it. I have a gun now, a Gatling gun. They don't go too crazy with having you fly up and down and stuff like that in the first level here, but it gets crazier fast. Hello. Now it's running slow. Whee! Yeah, and again, this runs, I mean, as you expect, I guess, from this era of hardware. Look at that, missiles. It tries, and it's something unique about having that, too. It's like, yeah, there's, I think in general, for DOS gaming, I'm going to stick to a Pentium, mid-range Pentium, or upper Pentium, honestly, because then you can play all your Duke 3D. Not including some of the speed-sensitive stuff, obviously. But it's a great choice for a general... Autopilot is a great option for playing DOS games in general, right? So... Oh, wow, yeah. Yeah, well, then you had a lot of cool games to catch up on there, too. You know, I think this is a VLB board, pretty sure. It does not have a PCI slot. I think it's just ISA slots, so... that's the thing, I haven't really dug into it, because I've just used it. We've streamed on it more than once before, but it's just a neat machine, so I have not really dug into it or looked up much about it, and I suppose I should cover it in an episode at some point where I just, you know, clean it up, walk through it, and, you know, not upgrading or anything. I have another 46 as well, that I think is a prime candidate for a DX4 100. Hey, Ted. Welcome. Yeah, it did show up here now at the very end, but thanks for stopping by here quick. We were in a bar earlier, and there was some dancers, I believe, but that was also a top-down 2D game, so, you know, wasn't too much to be excited about. God, that music was great. We're just going to play one level of Descent, I think. We'll play something else, but yeah, it is great music, but clearly the Thunderboard is handling this just fine. No problems here at all, compatibility. It's pretty good on, I think, virtually all these, like, kind of mainstream games, if you will. Shall say this is OPL 2. This card does not support OPL 3, like the Soundmaster 16 Vibra that was in here before. It does support full OPL 3. So that makes that Vibra 16 a very compatible card with rod range. And that doesn't go for all Vibras. Definitely not. So I understand there's some Vibras that are not that great. But that's why this DOS machine has been so good for so long, too. Between the 4666 and the Vibra, it's been extremely compatible. You play second. Yay! Yeah, I was right. I think this was the shareware version, so... And as you probably saw in that head, I rearranged the stream here a little bit, too. I am streaming at a newer, higher resolution, so you can see better quality in the capture, and also I moved myself to the other side to accommodate accordingly, so... I threw a few other games on here. see, we did play Strikers. I just gotta show the Lemmings version that came with here because it is, it was one that was bundled. All right. Well, can't wait to see your new branding here. It should be exciting to see. Lemmings is, you know, everyone knows Lemmings, and but it works great with the sound card. Now, interesting enough, on this one, oh, I guess I forgot to select the sound. Hurry on. Sorry, Lemmings. I forgot to select the sound. Yeah, it's PC speaker I had garbling down in that computer. Whoops. I should have selected Adlib. Of course, I said it works great, and it did not. Let's see, it is the... Where the heck did I set that? I forgot. That's right, you gotta do Lemmings, CGA. What did it not do sound? No, I know. Oh no. It worked great until you showed up, Ted. No. I think it's not under here. Yeah, this just installs the game. What batch files do we have here? Because that's where this is one that I did for the actual video, but I'm not sure why it's not working now with the sound. I don't think there's anything else to set. Because this is just here now. PC compatible. Not detecting the sound. Huh. That was weird. I literally captured this for the video. There we go. Oh no. But it works great, as you can tell. It is a phenomenal game that doesn't have any problems at all. And runs awesome. I was gonna say, it's been really, well, I noticed that it did some glitching going on with the graphics. I figured that was something to do with just the computer itself, but now apparently it's having some other problems too. Maybe it needs to be patched or something. But I played through a couple levels and they were fine. So that was fun. Alright, thanks for stopping by, Ted. We'll see you next week. Otherwise, have a good one. Lemmings, of course, works just... The sound works fine once it kicked in, I guess, I should say. But it is, you know, your typical ad-lib sound here. And that was one that was bundled with it here, because we do have, yeah, the Lemmings 8th level game, so it's just a demo version of Lemmings included. And then it came with a No 19 game, which I never played before. Also kind of a weird one. It's interesting that they bundled a couple of the games that were on. It might be, I'm not sure. It's hard to unless you hear it directly. And it might be something with this particular version or something. It looks like it's having some problems. This is a great part of the music. Build, like a little lemming life depends on it. I'm not sure I would call this the best way to play Lemmings, but, you know, it is one way to play Lemmings. Freaking resolution thing there all the time. Whoa, and then it's wonky. Like a wooka 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 version of Lemmings here. Yeah, it's having some problems. Sorry, Lemmings. Yeah, it is really a cool way to play games, and I really enjoy playing some of these retro revival games on a CRT in general, because you can get a dongle pretty easily that goes HDMI to VGA, and it works great for playing a lot of these different games. Okay, there's my controller. All right, which other games did I throw on here now? We played quite a few different ones. Let's play Wacky Wheels, because I didn't really play that much at all. Which is a kart racer that is definitely following in the footsteps of Mario Kart. So, a lot of apogee action tonight, but they were good. They were one of the premier publishers of DOS games, I would say, during this era, right? So, this is the straight up, like, clone of Mario Kart, except animals. But great music. Great music. Oh, interesting. Gotta be the shark. Floating race 1. Alt for racing. Okay. Well, that sounds not grating at all. It's not... It's an admirable effort. Of course, Apogee makes good games and everything, but this is not exactly a DOS strong suit. Is that one? Random animals. Oh man, the power-ups don't come back at all, so I'll say shark in a go-kart, shark in a go-kart. Attaboy, Panda. I don't know how they even do that on... I mean, they're doing the same scaling technique, probably, right? Where, like, they're... just scaling the sprites or whatever. That's right, it was 6 laps. It's my own bomb, so... It's funny with the, I feel like we should do some platform wars here now and just trying to pull out the cherry picking the best games on each platform and then saying that's the platform superior. But it is interesting how long it took for PC to catch up to that kind of, because it wasn't built in, right? And they did so much more specific stuff with the consoles, and you think to like how many like awesome experiences that are on the Genesis and the Super Nintendo and that kind of stuff with smooth scrolling and great music and all that stuff. And it was a real golden time. Because the PC needed a little time to catch up. There's no denying that on this kind of game level now. There were plenty of scrolling games that were good, but not compared to console, right? So, at least for a while. Put a hedgehog in a trench coat. Fair enough. Whoops. Ah. I think I've tried this throughout the years, but I don't think I've ever played it very long. That's the blast processing. Lies, all lies. John Lennon with the Digital Foundry did a little thing about blast processing, and it's funny, it has nothing to do with the speed of the console at all. It has a certain mode where it can inject more colors than you normally would get. That's it. And yeah, of course, that was great marketing slang, though. Yeah, very much, you know, trying to copy Mario Kart straight up. Some animals. But, I mean, you had a PC, right? And, like, I think you ended up playing on what you had. I think everyone had a different experience there on what they played on. If you didn't have a console, then that was it. And, you know, the proliferation of, like, copies and DVSs and above all, shareware floppies that you picked up from random places, and cover discs, my goodness, I spent so much time going through cover CDs and cover floppies and stuff. Those cover CDs were just a gold mine of demos, and I used that to determine which game I was going to buy, often, because I was buying quite a bit of big box games. Any money I had went into big box games for a while there. This is fine. I mean, it's like it's an impressive effort considering the time. So that's all. Thanks for stopping by. See you next time. Good luck with your rebrand and your videos. But now, as I'm saying, though, I'm saying sitting here just getting into this game like I usually do. I gotta win. Yeah, the shark one. I did the 28 hedgehogs. I picked that up, or I don't know what that does. Again, even though it sounds like a lawnmower engine, the sound card works fine. I mean, the Thunderboard has no problem with this game. This is like, you know, ad-lib and stuff, so. This is definitely not one of the Ghost House tracks. Doesn't look like that at all. Let's see what's Nintendo. I guess this is before Nintendo got really lawsuity. Oh, I can shoot hedgehogs, okay. I sure can. That's what you're doing, you're collecting hedgehogs. So I can shoot the hedgehogs, apparently. That was good to know. I should try that, I guess. I was wondering why you're picking up hedgehogs everywhere. Not very hard on this difficulty, I suppose. That's true, but you have some systems that had cartridges, right? Because you look at, like, you know, your of course, the Commodore 64 and that kind of stuff, and you had some computers that tried to do the cartridge format, especially the 8-bit ones, but often more expensive to manufacture. I think the PC strength, of course, was the fact that it was just, you can get any format you will, but not as easy to use, obviously. Laughing these poor dudes now. Not very hard here, but of course I'm playing on the low speed. Yeah, that's true. Fantastic piece of driving. IBM, of course, left that standard pretty open. And I mean, you think back to the IBM, well, they weren't exactly pushing the video gaming envelope, right? That was not the original intent of the IBM and the XT and everything. That didn't come until much, much later. And by then, I mean, it's like I'm not exactly up on all my IBM compatible history and everything, but, you know, by the time we got to the 90s and all those computers were getting proper video and Load and Race 4. Good music. But it's like, and you think back then to, like, when you got to the mid-90s, that, like, crested it, and then you got, like, amazing gaming performance on computers. There were so many experiences to have. Hi there, Andy. Evening, or good morning for you. We're playing Wacky Wheels using our Thunderboard. I'm shooting hedgehogs. This was the style at the time. This is a weird one. But it works. Yeah, bullseye. It's interesting game, to say the least. Because I think it's like, that was the thing, like, if you want to do, like, the PC, of course, always had, like, rich RPGs, it had strategy games like the Wazoo and stuff like that, which just suited it. Low speed changing stuff. I'm not saying there weren't games like that, but that's, to me at least, not until you got to, you know, past the 1 megabyte video card, started getting the more advanced stuff, and you started getting some real experiences. And especially then, of course, you get into the 3D acceleration era and stuff like that. So there's just so many things there with the PC. It was powerful, but again, not as simple as a console. Especially as the consoles went into, you know, PlayStation 1 era and Nintendo 64 and that kind of stuff. And PlayStation 1 really was something else as far as, like, what they brought for 3D gaming. But I was out of the console game for quite a while there. After I had a Super Nintendo, then I got into PC pretty much, and that's what I stuck with until early 2000s. I didn't really have any consoles at all, so... My most modern current console, once you count the Steam Deck, which I wouldn't do, but is the Switch. We got a couple of those, or several of those, because that's the family console, and that's what the kids play on, so... Fire the hedgehogs! Shark winner. And that was a cost-cutting measure above all, right? Because the SA1 chip was not cheap to manufacture, as I understood. At least, I mean, comparatively. And that was why the SNES was designed with such an interesting expansion option, so... Yeah, I kind of wish I was into the PlayStation 1, but yeah, I was so into PC gaming at the time with my Pentium 100 and then eventually my P2 300 and Voodoo accelerators, and that was just, you know, final. That was just something else. Seeing Quake the first time on my Voodoo 1 card was just... Oil slicks everywhere. Yeah, it feels like they're doing some pretty weird hardware tricks here to make this 3D / Mode 7 / whatever you want to call it, trickery work here. It's certainly doesn't feel very smooth, very janky. I'm assuming just the way it's updating the frames, so... Got that squirrel in the trench coat. I'm a little worried about that one. But that is to say, so far, I mean, besides Lemmings being weird, the Thunderboard is very compatible. We haven't really had any games that didn't have sound or not at all working. I will say I can show the other one, which is Nova 9, which is demo was included. Calls out to Thunderboard, and it came with it, but it has only music. And maybe that's the case that it only had music, but it sounds odd, especially since it was included with the sound card. Huh, interesting. I did not know that. That's crazy. Figure we know everything about this SNES by now that we can because it's such a popular system. And it's my favorite 16-bit console as well, and who I grew up on playing, so favorite of many. So many good games on that. I really hope they just call the new Switch. If they make a new Switch that's the same, just call it the Super Switch. And, you know, throw extra horsepower at it, updated internals and all that stuff, and call it good. Just make it backwards compatible. Call it the Super Switch. The name is right there. But they won't. They'll think up some weird, crazy control system for it or something. But you're too good. Shark says so. Finished. The rostrum. Caught on the face. Nice. It's a fun game, but it's hard to compare that to the smooth speed of that Mario Kart had. But it clearly was a direct like attempt to make it. Music is great though. 1st January 1995. Not exactly. The squirrel or the squirrel with hedgehog stuff. Yeah, I'm going to show Nova 9 real quick because, again, that was included. Nova 9. And there is a setup for this. Here we go, I think. Not that one. Let's install. Yeah, you can't. There's only Thunderboard to pick here. There's nothing else you can pick. Literally. So you think that with that included, it would have a sound effect as well. Graphics, VJ. There's nothing you can do to change it. The music works. But I'm not sure if it's just like not mixing it together, so. And it's the one I used in the video because it came with it and I tested it and everything. And you know, the intro's cool and everything. Yeah, that's the thing too, especially as you're playing now, because my kids have been playing the newer Pokemon games, stuff like that, and by golly, they run so sluggish. I mean, even they recognize it now that these the Switch is just not keeping up. Compared to what you see on, you know, other stuff. They play on PC too for the games they can, but really? Has it been around only that short? Huh. Man, that was a mean dude. Good so far. I'll say you're watching this DOS live or capture now, upscaled to 1440p basically, and I like to think that it's gonna provide a crisper picture and also the encoder settings. It's going to be using the beneficial one, which is the, what is it called, AV, I don't remember which one is which, but you get the better encoder in YouTube. And now we're playing. Yeah, you get music, but no sound effects. To be fair, I don't know how to control this game, but it runs pretty smooth. They never really explain it. And even if you're running at 1080p, it's okay because the biggest thing for me is getting that higher encoder setting, and also 1440p is going to look a lot sharper for the DOS games and stuff. So, looking as sharp as possible. Take that, tree. Your score is 1 of the top 10 so far. Wow, that was... It just dumped me out and back in again. I didn't know you could beat that. I figured there was more to it, but maybe there's more to this game than just this. And it is on one floppy. I'm not sure how big the actual game is if it has 3D graphics. Because I think there's weapons to pick up and stuff, and hopefully objectives to complete or something. Blow it all up. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure too that, you know, my bandwidth can handle it, and my computer can handle it. So I'll figure out the layout. I'll probably just run it with this for now. But, you know, this works for now. I might tinker with it, but I wanted to see if I can just do 1440p streaming, which is fine. And then anyone watching a replay will have a sharper picture too. Ow. I'm drifting. I think I took some damage. Not drifting on purpose, that is. Listing lazily to the right. And that's more like a personal thing. It's like not like streaming at 1080p is bad by a long shot, but I just noticed that when I was watching it myself after, some of the game capture was kind of like a little pixelated more than it should be. And not getting what I wanted, so. Don't know how to switch weapons. No, I don't want to board game. Let's just quit. It was a rear view camera. Wow. Fancy. Game paused. That's P, okay. Let's switch weapons. Oh, it's not a good sign. Fires a cannon. Cannon fired successfully. Yeah, it's both 60 hertz, and I think it's just the encoder. I think honestly that's the thing. And you get the better encoder on YouTube, it goes a long way. At least in my experience so far, because I can't remember which one to which. If it's the AV1 for the higher and the AV9 for the lower, I can't remember. But that's one of the main reasons to upload anything at 1440p or 4K, because you get that better encoder. And it does make a big difference in the clarity and the smoothness of the video. So I think that's one of the big things, just doing that. So I don't think I'm doing this here, at least from the stream. When I usually make videos, I use 264. So that's mostly because my camera is encoding in that, and then that lets me use the videos natively, if you will. So I'm to re-encode them in every scenario. So this guy looks like a meanie. Yeah, that would be cool. I think the biggest challenge was that what he found out pretty quickly is that sourcing parts and the development time, and that's even on an 8-bit computer, right? 16-bit, I'm assuming, is way more complicated, because you think it's something like a Atari ST or the Amiga. There's a lot of, I'm not moving parts. There's a lot of components that have to go into that. It'll be hard to pull that off, so the investment, especially you start messing with you know, printing the parts and all that stuff, and I'm sure people have thought about it, but come at me, bro. Don't know how to switch cannon or weapon. I do have another one there, I think, but oh, there we go. I think I dropped like a mine or something. 16-bit guy. Yeah, then the question is like, what do you run on it? And you have to design the OS and all that stuff. And oh, they're laser. Laser. We got lasers, everybody. Whoa, 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 whoa. Jeez Louise, he was coming at full ramming speed. It's like an arena shoot, right? I don't know anything about the story here, what's going on, but it's coming right for us. Full game. I think that's about it. So, because the problem you get is like price, right? Okay, so that was not the exit. That's right. Control-Delete is the exit for this one. For some reason, Control-Delete is the exit for this game. Which makes total sense, absolutely. While the concept is cool, it's like, how do you execute that and make that happen? Because custom chips, special FPGAs, are expensive too, and it adds up fast. And then the question is, if you make a machine like that the way you want it to, and it comes out for $700, then we're going to buy it, right? Everyone wants a cheap one, so I will love it too, but then the support and everything. So it wasn't already I was like a Mega 65, right? It was like a Commodore 64 clone-ish thing with its own custom stuff, right? That's probably another one that's pretty close to that. But as soon as you get to 16-bit, that gets really messy. Yeah. Yeah, but it's like if you take that per unit, right? $10, and how many did they sell? Goodness. It's crazy how fast you can get that kind of stuff, too. And, again, what would you do with it, right? Because I think a lot of those hobby projects like that with the Commander X16 is, I haven't watched this latest video on it, but the idea is more the hobbyist coder, right? More than, like, making games like that or whatever for it. So it's hard to decide what the benefit is there, because right now there's an FPGA boom, of course. There's being stuff developed for the Analog Pocket and the Mister all the time. There's new FPGA cores out constantly. So that's the boom we're seeing now, especially with a close to original hardware representation in an emulation device. How much need or desire is there for custom thing after that? It would be really neat, but yes, I very much agree with that too. I love the mid to late 90s gaming, but then you get into stuff that has like orchestral soundtrack and stuff, and it kind of loses a little bit of that feel to it. And which is why the retro revival now is awesome, because you have more chiptune stuff, and some games have awesome music, but you miss out a little bit on that 8-bit, 16-bit era. Like here, heck, when they get creative with the limitation. I mean, Super Nintendo has some of my favorite soundtracks of all time, and I'm not sure there would have been the same impact. Because, like, I love the Super Metroid soundtrack is amazing, and the Metroid Prime is amazing, but it's amazing in a different way because they have no limitations. They can record any kind of orchestral stuff they want, put it directly on the disc. So you don't have the same limitation anymore. It loses a bit of that charm. So at least we have a retro revival going on right now. So anyway, I think I'm going to call it there. The IBM Easy Options Game and Audio Card Sound Blaster compatible is great, aka a Thunderboard. I like the sound card. I'm not sure if I'm going to put the Vibra back in or keep this in here. Probably the Vibra, I'm thinking, because I may have another machine than that this might be better in, because I don't have a sound card in it yet. So we'll see. But it's a really cool card. So I like using it. It's neat. It sounds good in all games except Lemmings, where it kind of broke, but it's a Sound Blaster compatible clone with all that comes with it. It feels so weird because Thunderboard is such a, like, they went with the branding and trying to make it like a thing, but then I never heard of it really until now. So of course there were ads for it there in my magazine. But thanks everyone for stopping by and watching me fiddle around with the sound card. The computer held up, the hard drive never crashed, so I think we're good there. I do have a backup hard drive should it come to that, but it didn't. So thanks everyone for watching. Hopefully I see everyone next week, and have a great weekend and a good Thunder evening. Good night and goodbye. Find the mouse. There we go. Good night.